Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast on the 27th of October. It's not October. Is it October? No, it's not. It's September, isn't it? Yes.
I hope not. Jesus.
It might be October
I was gonna
somewhere.
say,
Isn't it October somewhere in the world?
Oh, I missed my wedding.
No.
Oh, God.
No?
frick, all falling apart.
Well, I mean, it's done now. You know, you just accept it and move on. You
didn't
probably
miss
saved
anything.
a lot of money,
I was there.
honestly. Awful lot of
you didn't miss
money.
the thing. She came out.
It was lovely. Your stand-in did a wonderful job.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I hired him beforehand. I knew I'd do that. I knew it.
It was actually like a mop, just a mop.
Yeah.
In a tuxedo, but a mop nonetheless.
It was a classy affair, top to bottom.
Very
No,
classy.
nobody really noticed, honestly.
And he cleaned up at the end. It was great.
They were like, you know, he was surprisingly quiet and calm for once. You know, he's always running his mouth, but you know, he obviously took this very seriously.
Damn.
I'm starting
Go.
beef.
I can leave.
I'm cutting a promo right now
Thanks for coming to
against
the
Dan.
podcast.
Oh god, yes. Thank you for standing in at the last minute because I forgot to
good.
book a guest like a fucking idiot. Thank you, I appreciate that.
And Lord knows nobody wants a show with just the three of us.
No. Well, especially not with me right now. I'm just like, no, what have you played this week? Mobile games.
Mystic Messenger.
No, I have actually played a couple of games, thank fuck, but yeah. Well, it's a Corruption Podcast. We occasionally talk about video games. Our sponsor this week is audible.com/cynical. Head on over there for a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook.
We don't play games, but we sure do listen to books.
We do, because we're too lazy to read. Are you too lazy to read? Audible.com/cynical, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be talking about our books a little bit later in the show as a contractually obligated segment of this podcast, which, to be fair, is more structured and more organized than everything else on this show. So that's why people like our sponsored segments, because they actually have substance. Everything else is shit. Utter shit.
Yeah.
We prepare for those.
We do. The rest of it, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Well, there's a new option on Twitch here. Manage auto host. And in
A new
brackets,
co-option?
recommended. I don't know what it... No.
Oh.
I don't
Ooh.
I don't know what that actually means. What does auto host do?
Just a robot of you just popped
I
up.
think it makes it so that you can have a list of like people where if you're
Yeah.
offline, your channel automatically hosts one of the
Oh,
people.
there's a
in-
team host
That's
list
less
now.
fun.
So it'll host people that are on the list. Toggle all forms of auto hosting, teammates, host list, and similar channels. Cool, so you can be part of a team. And automatic. Wow.
This is fascinating. Let me read this entire thing.
God, this is really interesting.
I heard they changed the terms and conditions as well. So we get that right.
Interesting. Did
Absolutely.
you know that you can add your rules to your chat box so that when people come there for the first time, they have to read the rules and agree to them? Fascinating.
I saw
we should
that.
write those out right now.
Yeah, so that would be great. Let's not. Welcome to the Corruptional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Our special guest today, returning once again, is Mr. NerdCubed. Welcome to
Hello.
the show.
Hello.
Oh, you poor thing. You're being like sucked in by the robots.
Yeah, you've got that webcam issue that's popped up
Yeah,
again.
I literally don't know what's doing it. It's this, because I just tested it down on other stuff, and it happens only here and not on that one.
Of course.
Of course.
There's no
Yeah.
system we can use that works right.
No, of course not. You know,
No,
we switched
I'm being-
off Skype because it was crap, and then we switched on to this, and now this is breaking. It's just like, I don't know why we keep doing this show, honestly. I don't know how we manage it.
My cyber is being hacked. That's what's happening right
Well,
now.
cyber is a big issue. It might be the biggest
guys.
issue, actually. Huge issue.
You gotta protect your cyber.
Indeed.
I have not
Protect your
been-
cyber.
Absolutely. It's okay, Dan. You know, we know you have the best temperament. That's why we bring you on the show. It's your best attribute, actually.
10, 20 years, we'll all be cybering.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
son, he's great at cybering. You wouldn't believe.
You know, that's the only time I've heard the word cyber since like the 90s. Like that was a thing. Like
I
who
was
was
like,
hats on
what?
backwards? They used to say the word cyber, and then just like nothing, the word cyber vanished. And then in that debate, cyber, it just came back. Like I thought it was like
I
I
can't lie
refuse to
you.
call that a debate. That was not a debate. That was...
it was. Yeah, it was. Trump was vigorously debating himself, and he kept losing, which was my favorite thing about it.
I'm not sure he
can't-
actually said anything.
He kept going. I didn't say that thing. And then the other was like this little thing popped up on Twitter. Actually, he did say all these things.
I didn't watch it because I felt like watching it would be endorsement of it. Like it changed. It changed. The result has changed because you observe it.
Right now.
It's a weird Schrodinger's cat kind of situation. You know, if I don't watch it, is America alive or dead, or is it both at the same time?
Did it actually happen?
Did it actually happen? I'm gonna hope not.
Here's what I learned. Doesn't fucking matter. Because today I woke up and apparently it doesn't matter whether you tell the truth or not. Every side's already made up their mind. So F it. We're all going to hell. Let's nuke the whales, baby. It's over. It's over.
What did whales ever do to you? It's weird how you
Lazy, good for nothing. They take up space. Get them out of here.
The Welsh, they're taking our jobs. All those Welsh.
Yeah. Yeah, are you talking about whales the place or whales the big blue things in the sea?
I was thinking the big sea.
Both the same.
I was definitely thinking actual sea animals.
And as we learned last night, they're the ones cybering.
And if you take all the whales out, sea levels will go down.
Always in the last place you look. That is true. You know, take the mass out. That'll solve the problem. I mean, to be fair, there isn't a problem anyway. There's no problem anyway because it's all the Chinese conspiracy.
Yeah.
So really,
absolutely.
Fuck this gay Earth. I just.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think Earth is that happy.
It's just I'm just exasperated at everything.
I'm pretty happy.
Why?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
not.
Fun
to watch. A roller coaster is the most fun on the decline, and that's clearly the bit you're on now. So it's just fun to just watch it go down.
It's fine unless you're in the country or within firing range of it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
This is how you know we're messed up. When weeks after Brexit, last night I had all these English viewers that were like, "You guys are fucking stupid. This debate's dumb," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? You can't judge us."
Yeah.
America's always got to one-up everything.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, they did something. That was the stupidest thing any country's ever done." Oh no,
nope.
We're number one. We're number one.
Look, here's what has to happen.
I'll show you all.
That giant cylindrical
we'll raise one
vessel
more flag.
needs to arrive from Star Trek 4, and we don't figure out that it was the whales that needed to talk to, and everything dies in a giant storm.
You're boring them. You talk about Star Trek, now you're yawning.
But we don't have Spock. Didn't
don't.
Spock mind meld with the whales? Wasn't that part of that movie?
No. Maybe.
Actually, I think it was.
I think he did.
Yes.
Pretty sure
Yeah,
he
you're right.
did.
We're fucked.
I
We don't have
watched that
Spock
movie
anymore,
recently.
so we are going to die to the giant cylindrical spaceship that arrives.
Yeah, we don't have
quite soon.
Spock, so we're fucked.
Oh no!
Whales
Yeah,
can't help us.
and Chekhov was captured for being a Russian spy. Oh no!
The 80s.
Nuclear
Things were
vessels.
easier.
Don't tell Trump we have nuclear vessels. He'll be very excited.
Oh, the nuclear vessels.
Oh,
Oh
dear.
no!
Oh.
Thank you, chat. He did mind meld with the whales.
Totally mind melted with whales.
Yeah.
I'm going to say one thing. Please go out and vote.
Actually, first,
Please.
go out and register to vote.
Yeah,
Do
go
that
register
first.
to vote.
Don't
and
get
then vote.
confused. You
Please.
definitely have to
Same.
register first.
Register
Stay in and
first.
register to vote.
Please,
you can do it online, I
please.
guess.
Yeah, please.
Then go out.
Then go vote.
I don't
Then go
want to
vote.
die. Please. All right, let's talk about some video games, shall we? What have you been playing this week? Dodger, you played a game, and it had spears in it, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I've played Lichtspeer,
Lichtspeer.
which is a game, I think it's
Okay.
actually released today.
Is it safe to Google Lichtspeer? I'm gonna.
Not Lichtspeer.
Yes, do
no,
it.
no, that is
Yes,
not what you should be doing.
Lichtspeer. That's the name of the game. L-I-K.
This- you
No,
have
it's
made a
not.
mistake.
No, it's like Lightspeer, Lichtspeer.
Lichtspeer.
It takes place in the future where everything is slightly German, which I'm
Ever
cool
so
with.
slightly German.
Ever so
And he
slightly
says as
German.
a giant flashing Achtung appears on the screen.
Yeah. If you fuck up, this giant face shows up and yells 9 at you. It's terrifying. But if you win, then he goes Uber. And that makes
Yeah. In a
Anyway,
slightly
this is a
sexual
game.
way.
Only German words.
This is a game where you're static.
Das
You can't
Walrus! I already
can't,
love
like-
this game.
walk around. But you have a light spear, a Lichtspeer that has been given
Lichtspeer.
to you by a god who is bored because all gods in video games are apparently bored and just want humans
Well,
to do fun shit.
naturally.
So in this game, basically you go from zone to zone, and the game plants you in a specific spot, and then you have to throw a spear and defeat your enemies. And eventually you have flying enemies, you have enemies who just like pop out of nowhere.
Das geht a Walrus.
Throw stuff at you. And yeah, there are bosses. So far the bosses have been very simple. But this game, it's so funny because I started playing it on stream and everybody was like, okay, this game's going to get boring pretty fast. But it ramped up in difficulty. Like it's a very frustrating but fun game. I really enjoy it.
That's why I sent it to you, because I'm like, I'm going to hate this, but I have 3 codes, and I know this is the kind of dumb shit that she would play, because she's she's the one that would actually persevere with something like this. I don't have the patience.
I got super into it, and when I hit a level that I couldn't seem to get past, I was like, fine, we're going to go back, and we're going to complete every objective up until this point. And my chat was like, no. But it's really fun. I was surprised that
2 kinds of skating walrus.
In it, but
So it has 2 kinds of skating walrus in it, so you know.
It does. And you have lots of different abilities, so you can like alternate.
Das skating walrus and elegant skating walrus.
All right, time out. You can't go. It has 2 types of skating walrus in it, and then reply. It does.
It's true.
She's not wrong. She's telling the truth.
I would be lying if I said that's not true.
I mean, half of the games that we list on the release list are basically that in terms of features.
It's a 2D. I don't want to call it side scrolling because you don't move until the game is ready for you to move. It's just kind of like static. And you have basically this like horde of enemies that come at you. And you have to defeat all of the enemies in that horde in order to move on and go to the next like area of this zone. So some of your enemies in the ice area are seals.
Walrus.
Just seals.
There are they walruses or are they seals?
According to the trailer, there are walruses.
Okay.
A walry, I guess.
Walry, of course, naturally.
Oh, yes.
The plural.
Yes,
walrus.
walry.
Walry.
Wally.
Oh, Wally.
It's just one of those silly looking games that is deceptively simple, and yet you realize, throwing a spear at an angle and that arcs around can get really tricky real fast.
It messes you up too. It'll have you just going, straight across from left to right for a while, and then it'll be like, but what if you were on a really steep slant? And I'm like, oh no. And it's like, but what if you were standing on the opposite side? I'm like, oh no. And then it'll put you right in the middle and have hordes coming from both sides. Terrifying. Fun though. Like
instant death, isn't it? That one. You get touched by something, you're dead.
Yeah, it's instant death. Absolutely. Unless it's a magical ability, like if it's a magic projectile, it stuns you.
Okay.
So it could mean that you die if you're leaving shit to the last minute. But the abilities are really satisfying to use. Pretty much everything was easy to understand. And I felt like I was able to just zone out and get really deep into it. Because you get headshot bonuses. So if you haven't if you haven't missed at all, you don't have to only get headshots, but each time you get a headshot, there's a percentage multiplier up to 100. So as long as you're not missing and you get 10 headshots, then you have 100% multiplier on all of your points, and the points count as like a currency in between matches. You can like upgrade your abilities or try out new abilities and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, it wound up being very fun. It's like everybody when I said that you gave the game to me, everyone was like, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Some people send me games that I'm going to have to assume that they don't think I will play. So that's why they send me multiple codes, because I think, who can I inflict this on today?
Right. No, I was the right person to give this to, for sure.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm the dealer when it comes to weird Steam codes these days.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Give me them weird Steam codes.
You want Steam codes?
Gajitas wares if you have coin.
What are you buying?
What are you buying?
Why do you sell it?
Stranger.
Yeah, so that was Lichtspeer, yes. That's what's
Yeah.
Don't Google
And the
that.
dev came into my chat and was really excited that somebody was playing it. So That was awesome.
Oh.
Shout out to you, devs.
That's slightly sad. It's like, I'm really excited someone's playing my game. It's like, oh.
Well, because it wasn't released yet.
Yeah, that's true. And I
So.
think it is out today, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
It's coming out on
I think
console
it
as
is.
well. So keep
Your
an eye out for that.
spears.
It's not anything good coming
Lick
out
your
on console.
spears, everybody. Get on it.
Spears.
Lick the spears.
.net/Donkey Show. Get on it.
Yep.
Moving
Did
on.
anybody else play the second chapter of Telltale Batman?
No.
I
I
did.
haven't even played the first one yet.
I did.
I haven't played the first one.
Here's the thing. You guys are good call. I solidly am over Telltale games.
I'm
but I'm
in a
them.
similar situation. I'm just bored of the formula.
Yes.
I get that. I like that. I think they cleaned up the combat a lot in chapter 2. I feel like the combat looked a lot cleaner. But also, I liked that we had our first experience with the option of saying, do you want to do this situation as Bruce Wayne or as Batman?
Oh,
And I liked
okay.
that.
That's neat.
There's my biggest like funny moment in this game is the fact that one of Batman's abilities is that he has this bat like hovercraft thing.
Our drone.
Yeah, but it looks like a straight up just like DJ board. Like it I feel every time he pulls it out, I'm like, some bat tunes are going down right now. It looks so ridiculous. It's got like neon lights and it's just out of place from everything else. I don't know why. It drives me crazy. This was definitely better than the first episode. I thought it was pretty short. Like
It was short. It was very short. I was surprised that I beat it in like a little over an hour.
Whoa, that is short.
Like an
for,
hour and 30
Very
minutes
short.
was like I went through and tried to do like an hour 30 maybe. It's super short. A lot happens, but it's super short, and I'm not cool with that. But what did happen was pretty entertaining. I'll give it that. But I'm not.
You know what frustrates me is that with Cobblepot, they did such a like drastic design change that at the end,
We can
I'll
swallow
say-
finger this. If you
I'll
want.
say I don't think that this will be a
Spoiler.
spoiler.
I'm putting it up
They-
anyway. There we go, just in case.
Okay, they show another character that I think is supposed to be a like moment, but I wound up being like, okay, I don't know who this is. Like, I'm not,
Absolutely.
Right?
When the character shows up, and it's just a dude in a mask, the possibilities are literally endless, and I think that's what they're going for. But the problem is, I mean, I too was just like, I don't know or care who this person is right now, because it's just like
it could be anybody because the redesigns are so drastic. Like the way that they've changed the story is so drastic in this game, which I'm cool with. But like it made it so that I think there was a moment there where, much like with, the Marvel movies, the after credits scenes on Marvel movies, like there was potential for half of the people playing this game to be like, oh, I know exactly who this is. And the other half to be like, I don't know. Right. And sometimes that's really fun for people to collaborate on learning that information. And in this situation, I don't know anybody who's like, I definitely know who this character is.
my initial thought was like, oh, that's their new version of Scarecrow. Got it.
I don't think it is though.
But it isn't. No, I agree. I don't think it is. And I was like, what?
It can't be because his abilities do the opposite.
Absolutely.
Right?
Like, I don't know who it's supposed to be. I don't know that I like the changes they made to Oswald Cobblepot. I don't know that I like any of that. I just am like, I don't know. I don't know that I
It seems like you're playing this purely out of curiosity.
Oh, I played it all out of curiosity, and more importantly, and this is a spoiler, at the end of this storyline, a major event happens, and you're given the choice either to choose between saving Selina or saving Harvey Dent. And your choice is if you save Selina, Harvey gets his face fried and becomes like Two-Face, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you
Really?
Yes.
I was wondering what the difference is. Oh,
But if you save Harvey, he doesn't become Two-Face, and Selina like gets shot, but she gets away. And so it's like, what? Like going forward, like I'd rather have Two-Face in my story because that's a character I at least know. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a weird. I'm not sure I'm okay with. It's Telltale, man. I'm just over the Telltale experience. It's driving me crazy.
But
I don't know.
But like one of the big, I feel like we can take spoiler down now.
Okay.
Like one of the things that people always complain about with Telltale games and just like story choice games in general is that your choice does not matter. And like, I think that with this Batman game, we're seeing like potential for the choices to make a big difference.
Here's the thing. That's what I'm afraid is not true. Like at the end,
But it's just all gonna twist.
It's a Telltale game. How many times have we had that? Like, especially like even
Absolutely.
the Game of Thrones game initially that came out from Telltale. Like, I thought at the end of the first, like, wow, this is like a major implications and stuff that's going on, and it ends up being it's all a facade. You know, you can't really change anything. You can't really affect anything, and really that's been their formula for God knows how long. If they managed to reinvent that, wonderful. I'm just like, I'm sort of tired of giving them the benefit of the doubt over and over again.
Yeah.
I think it's one. Chat's right. Xanary Other is right. It's 100% role play. It's all about you becoming the character and that experience. The problem is that in role play, you would believe that your actions make a difference, and much of the time in these games, you feel that way up until a certain point when it is revealed. Not really. Everything you did is on a track, and you can be the character all you want, but there are no repercussions to the choices you made as that character.
Right.
So, and I don't know.
You don't sound massively enthused about this particular game, I have to say.
No,
I've really enjoyed it so far, but
Oh, okay.
I have to fight for my girlfriend's love over a fictional character. It's awful. TB.
she is so into Cobble Hot, it's like a problem.
Hobble.
It's a big
Oh,
problem.
God. You tumble
Cobble Hot
bastard.
is his name now. Yeah, it's a
Cobble Hot.
problem for me. I'm not.
Look, why did they make him so young and attractive?
I can't.
Why does he keep grabbing Bruce's biceps? These are questions that are important.
All I know is
God.
that she and Krendor's girlfriend literally just sit there all day and talk about it, and it for like hours. Hours, and it's obsessive and gross.
That's
And I was
intense.
like, and the argument is like, yeah, but you like characters from video games. Like, yeah, but I think X girl is hot, but I don't obsess over it. You two are crazy people.
It's like, how much fanfic have you written up to this point? It's like, well,
Right?
only like
It's
10
insane.
of them.
It's
you know?
insane.
Oh my God, I wonder. Hold. No, keep
No.
moving.
No.
Move
No.
on with your life. Move on with your life.
Don't enable it. You'll enable it by
It's fine,
looking
move
at
on
it.
with your life. I'm just gonna check a thing.
You are adding
You know-
to a statistic. Don't be a
You
statistic.
know there's Rule 34 everywhere of this. It's the weird part is that I don't know. I guess the creative license is out there and you can make whatever Batman stories you want, but always angers me. Like, I think my Batman, the Batman that I have, is like the animated series Batman. All that stuff to me, that's Bat canon. Anything that goes against that, I'm like, this ain't my Batman. Hashtag not my Batman.
I'd watch more Batman if there was a Bat cannon, I have to admit.
Well, on his belt, just
Absolutely. He has to sort of, he unveils his giant Bat cannon and thrusts it towards the foe.
hang on. Are you reading the things the Dodger's currently looking up? 'Cause
Yes.
just actually, if he had a cannon, it just explodes people. There's just like blood everywhere. He's like, I don't kill people. Like no one questions it.
Yeah,
He just
I mean,
throws everyone
would
on
you?
the cannon.
It's like, but no,
There's
but
not
no,
nearly
no, he's not.
enough.
He's not dead.
Telltale Batman fan fiction out there right now, guys. I need you all to step up your game. I actually can't find any with a rudimentary just scrape of the surface, and that's disappointing for me.
I would say that goes to the fact that what we've said numerous times, Telltale needs to up their game and like make something
Nobody
new.
makes fanfic of shit people don't care about.
Absolutely
Made that argument time and again. Overwatch just got its own. It's just got its own porno, an actual real porno.
The trailer is 1, hilarious. 2, I can't get over how.
Wait, CGI or live action?
Oh no, live action, and the porn star that got to play Widowmaker is phenomenally like. It's just like a lips on a face. It's so funny. I can't even. And then there's just a guy who's like, "Yeah, I'm Reaper. Let's fuck."
What's it called?
Oversnatch.
Crotch?
Oversnatch.
Oversnatch.
Overcrotch is a lot funnier.
Overcrotch is better.
That's
in every
much
way.
better than Oversnatch Triple X, which is what it's actually called.
Oh, Brazzers. Should have known.
That means
let's
high
be clear.
production values.
Let's speak. Everyone chats like Jim Sterling already reviewed it.
Yeah, he
Of
actually
course
literally
he
did.
Of
Oh my
course
god, the
he did.
costumes are amazing.
Of
my
course Jim reviewed it. Jim, good job, buddy. Work and pleasure, my man.
Gotta give him credit for that. That is not ad-friendly content. Not at all.
No, it's not. It's so fun.
Oh my god.
Holy
It exists.
shit.
Moving swiftly on, Dan, what have you been playing this week?
I've been watching the Paddling Sport parody. It's exactly the same. It's beautiful. No, I've been playing Planet Coaster, which is my love, my life, my joy.
Yes,
It's
you've
my
always been a
everything.
roller coaster
What is
tycoon
that?
fan, and this is
It's the best thing. Yes, this is like the next Roller Coaster Tycoon made by the people who made the last good Roller Coaster Tycoon. So it's Frontier who make Elite Dangerous. They made Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which I really like. I know it gets kind of a bad rap, but I think it's an amazing game. Like, it's a stunningly fantastic game. Like, in that game, you can customize your own fireworks displays to what fireworks go off at exactly the right time and time it to music.
What?
You can have that go off. That's just a thing you can do. And you build massive, like, multi-layered swimming pools and have people dive, like, 15 stories down into a tiny little swimming pool and create waves and stuff. And apparently you can build roller coasters and stuff as well, but I never got around to that thing. Planet Coaster is like their next one, and it's above and beyond. It's like the most customizable game I've ever seen ever. Like, you don't just go like, oh, I'm just going to build a little house here. You can build like just individual
you're
walls and then you
customizing this
decorate
ride.
them.
I'm watching you put a giant clock on this thing.
Best thing is they kind of went, there's like clipping is always a thing we have to worry about and you want to make everything fit. You can clip anything through anything. If that's what you want to do, feel free to do it. So there's like, in the park I currently have, there's this little like cobblestone section, just a little bit of cobblestones I just built just going up to this little house that I made. Those cobblestones are massive boulders though, like 99% under the ground with a tiny little bit at the top. I just have these little tiny bits, just so I've got this nice little cobblestone thing going on.
That's a giant dragon with tiny wings that you just put in there.
It's just full customization. But the buildings, if you're looking at the footage, like those buildings and stuff that you see, there's a few like you just plonk down a few things like a dragon, etc., and then you can customize its colors and things. But the actual buildings are individually built, so you don't just go, I want a burger shop. You can do that, or you can
make
then
your
go,
own burger. Can I take that giant
thing.
dragon, clip 90% of it into the ground, and have its head come out of the burger shop serving burgers? Can that be done?
Yes, you absolutely can.
I
In fact,
already
there
want
is
this. I want this
a
now.
there's like this big kraken-like monster that's entirely designed to burst out of the ground or water, but before they have that ground, so just burst out of the ground. You can have this like tentacles flying around and stuff as roller coasters are going through.
What?
It's nuts. Plus, the terrain tools aren't just up or down; it's full 3D sculpting, so you can like mine stuff out, and you can have floating things. You can make it look whatever. They built Mount Rushmore in this game. On the level you can play, it's just like Mount
The
Rushmore.
level of visual customization here is just
nuts,
mind-blowing. Like,
insane.
And it really deals with like a lot of the problems that I think management games have. I recently got off playing Project High Rise, which I enjoyed for the first 6 hours, and then it got
stops,
seriously...
doesn't it? Yeah, you get there and it's like, I built a tower, and what's next?
I realized there was no way to express my creativity, and there was also no stakes involved. I'm looking at this, and like, I probably spend hours,
so cool.
hours making like one ride. Like,
is this Roller Coaster Tycoon World?
No, get out with those words. Roller Coaster Tycoon World, this is just Planet Coaster. It's an entirely separate thing. Roller Coaster Tycoon World is dreadful. It's built in Unity. It's on its third or fourth developer.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a flaming
destroyed. The version there's like it released on time after like 3 delays. It released on time, but in early access. And it's, I mean,
you turned that giant rock into a little patio.
Yeah, this is the thing. But like, they have Roller Coaster Tycoon World have actually added the same sort of like building. You can build buildings and stuff. I've not actually tested it yet, but I very recently discovered that they've done that. So I will be going back to Roller Coaster Tycoon World to test it because I love that franchise. I want it to survive, but it looks horrific compared to this. It's nothing compared to Planet Coaster, which is
what the frick?
What is happening? What are you doing? You've created a monstrosity.
Oh yeah, it's entirely. But the only problem I have with this game is that I spent like literally. I'm like, okay, I'm going to build like a little burger place. I'm going to build a burger place.
Hours
and then
building
like
the burger place.
Oh yeah, and then I'm like, I look at the park and everything's on fire, and there's children running past screaming. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably should have been running the whole park thing. But there's like a sandbox mode, there's challenge mode, and all that sort of thing. But the level of customization, like
great.
now because they keep it's still alpha. That's still an alpha.
Yeah.
It's coming out in November. I think in October they're doing a beta and stuff, but it's still an alpha. But they've just added like water, and you have different types of water. So you can have rough water, murky water, wonderful, clear. I want them to have like a sheet ice kind of water, which like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 had, where it's just beautiful, perfect reflections. That's what I really want them to have.
What are you trying to do with this windmill right now?
You know what? I don't even question the footage anymore. All the things that I was doing, I was just like, yeah, let's see the things, and that's
This
like,
looks really fun.
oh, it's so good. But now they've added the pieces that you build the buildings out of, like some of them actually have like color customization, so you can fully customize everything. All the roller coasters can be bits. You can choose individual sections of the roller coasters where you don't want supports to be, and like full roller coaster customization to like ridiculous degrees. Rides can be customized, and so it's wonderful. The path system's built for curves, but also now they've added, because a lot of people wanted it in sort of like the 90-degree sort of stuff. It's everything you want. And I spent, and the best thing about it is the lighting, because you can actually put individual spotlights on stuff and they actually hit all the objects. So I like to build bushes and then have lights behind them, and so you can like light them from behind, so you see like little bits where the light's hitting. But also you can color the lights, so you can get everything set up to the exact color that you want it to be.
What?
You need to worry about your path congestion. Those people are just...
There are a lot of people.
The people bump into each other. They don't just walk through each other. They actually try and path find around each other. So path congestion is genuinely something you have to worry about, and you can choose different path widths as you go. It's something that actually is something you have to care about. If it's a busy area, you're going to need thicker paths, and you're going to have to build around that.
You're not managing this park at all. You are mostly fucking around with trees.
Yeah,
like.
the videos and stuff that I've done are just going, this is what's in the latest update. So that's all they sort of are. I'm waving my hands around a lot, but I feel like I have to. It's just...
There's just a lot going on.
So much going on.
If you're freaked out, the exits to go to Steam are here and here. I never get... When they do that on a plane, I have no idea what that means. They're like, okay, they're going to show me where the nearest exits are. They do that. I'm like, what is... I certainly go, and a dove just flies out. I'm like, oh.
That would be
the point where they're trying to explain to you their exits.
Yeah, which I can see because they got a big bright tree. Where's the exit?
Go that way. There's an exit over there. And maybe here. Mostly over there. Dan, please don't die on this plane.
There's
is what they're trying to tell you.
In front of the wing.
You're worried about magic tricks.
Behind the wing. It's like, right, that covers that's the whole aircraft, right?
None of that would matter anyway.
No.
In reality, none of that would matter.
Yeah, you wouldn't flash backwards, you hang on, the plane's crashing. Wait a minute.
If it became an issue, it probably is not going to make too much of a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen plenty of situations on TV where people manage to live through a plane crash.
Yeah, how's that work out in reality?
I'm learning as much as I can about smoke monsters.
Here's the thing. Spoiler, you'll never learn actually what it is.
I'll never learn anything about smoke monsters.
You'll never learn anything about smoke monsters. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Wasn't Gene Roddenberry?
Feeling spoiled right now. Feeling pretty spoiled right now.
Wasn't Gene Roddenberry a smoke monster?
Gene Roddenberry survived a plane crash. That's a thing, isn't it?
Well, what use is that? He's dead now.
How'd that work
Because of the pain.
What's the point? Do you think
Oh my god.
Nihilist TB is my favorite. What's the point?
What's the point of anything?
You can thank the debate last night.
Because it was before he made Star Trek. There we go. Yeah. He had like the plane crash and he ran back inside it. He broke his ribs but still went back inside to save people. God was a goddamn hero and invented Star Trek. There's a thing for you to learn. But yeah, in Planet Coaster, you could build a plane crash because of all the little bits you can put together. You also get like effects and things. If you want fire, you can just get some fire or like water spouts. And you've got like there's smoke and there's like confetti and bubbles and things.
I would make Fire Park. Like every ride is on fire all the time.
You can literally you could build it underground as well. You can tunnel down and dig out, and you could build an entirely underground fire-based theme park.
Just a popcorn stand that's all on fire all the time.
I like this. I like this plan.
Totally doable.
Absolutely.
But that's great. You can genuinely do that, and I kind of fancy doing it now. Just
In challenge mode, I assume you start with a certain amount of money.
Yeah, God knows what's in there. I can't light my bushes as accurately in there, so I'm like, no, I don't want to play that.
That's not a fuck around mode.
No, I can't like they've got a very light management in the moment, but as soon as they add the more, I'm going to be slightly worried because I'm like I may have to play with them for the money on because for me this is just make the walls the most beautiful part kind of thing.
Yeah, that does get. It does reach a point where you're like, why am I doing this?
Oh, that part never comes for me. I'm just like, it's just, the bush needs lighting. Like, so I spent hours like just getting these little bushes and like going, no, down a bit. No, down. No, down.
I just need them to be
down. Just
perfect.
Exactly. And like this is like the entrance bit that no one even sees, and it's just like, no, that just has to be there.
Because it's not for them, it's for you, Dan.
Oh, it's literally for me. I don't care if there's people in the park or not. They're really just set decoration. That's all they're there for. There's like there's not even any rides. I've just made like gardens, just beautiful gardens that go on forever. Oh my god, I can totally do that. I think I might do that. And then like night comes and it lights up perfectly. I'm like, oh, it's great. And then a roller coaster just crashes into it. I'm like, oh no.
You sold me. You sold me on it, Dan.
I sold it. It's one copy sold. it's just me and you. No one else.
I can't wait for it to come out in 2019. We'll see.
It's coming out in November this year.
I don't believe
I
you.
can't wait for 2026.
You see,
This game.
normally this is the kind of stuff that I'll be like, it's never going to come out, but it runs buttery smooth. Even with like, I can have 1,000 people in that park and I'm still hitting 60, 120. Buttery smooth.
I like how this is.
Buttery's kind of greasy, isn't it?
Buttery smooth.
I mean, I was going to say, if you did that, the butter would not be in your hand anymore.
You do. You just mush it. It's like building cakes. It's when you build a cake, you go, butter. Ooh,
40 buckarooskies, but it's worth it.
Yes. I paid way more than that to get like the super early stuff.
Good luck.
Super early.
Good luck.
It's like $100, I think it started. It was really, put it up like for the early alpha, they were like, look, we only want the people in here who are going to like actually
give
play
a fuck.
this.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's me! That's me! If you don't like the 3D stuff, there's also Parkitect, which is like a redoing of the Roller Coaster Tycoons 1 and 2 with the isometric top-down view that's being made at the moment, and that's very good as well. They don't have like quite the level of customization, but they have sort of like a little bit of building, and they got some good stuff going on. That's a really fun game as well. But that's focused more on sort of like staff management stuff. Like they haven't just like cloned it; they're doing it their own sort of way, and that is coming along really nicely. We get a nice resurgence of these roller coaster games, but it looks
People
like
do want the management games. It's just a lot of them seem to have missed the point lately.
Yeah, they have. This is like my favorite genre. I'm like, yeah, I play a thing. I'm like, oh my god, new management game, and I'm gonna go back and play Planet Coaster now. I'm disappointed. Although I see Planet Coaster for me isn't a management game. It's a make the bushes look pretty game. That's all I play it as. I'm sorry, guys. They spent so much time like programming roller coasters and stuff in, and I'll never use it. Never gonna do it.
But the experience that you want out of like a Sims game where you can make shit look beautiful and have it work right. You get that experience out of it.
I get that one out of it. And it's got workshop support, so anything you make gets saved as like one big lump thing, and then you can upload it to the workshop and other people can use it. You can download other people's. There's like I downloaded like someone that made an 8080, just an 8080, and I just plunked them apart, and I looked inside the back of it, and there's just a burger stall sitting in the back. I was like,
then you can set it on fire.
Then you can set it on fire. You can actually like make like battles and stuff going on, because you can have like jets that fire every now and then, and there's like lasers as well. There's red lasers at the moment.
The best park.
Wait, is there like functionality inside of the game to like create your own stuff, or is it like with old Sims where you have to like take the mesh file out and adjust it and then put it back in there and like
when you start gluing a building together, so you got all the wall panels and then you have all the things that go inside it, and people build these massively extravagant things. Once you've built that, it saves as one big thing, and you just simply go click save, and it's saved into your game. You can put it in your other parks as well, so it's super easy to use. It's done such a good job.
Looks great.
Right, but like wait.
Oh my god, did I not ask you? Did I just trump? Did I not ask you a question?
I think I wasn't very.
I'm gonna make Planet Coaster great again.
I wasn't super clear with my question. Okay, so say that I wanted to make a Doctor Who themed amusement park, right? And I was like, but shoot, they don't have a TARDIS. I need to build my own TARDIS.
I have built a TARDIS.
Okay, so there's a way for me to build a TARDIS inside of the game.
It's not perfect yet, but there's enough sort of bits and pieces, and they keep adding loads of bits and pieces that you can put something together. It's a bit like Little Big Planet, when it wasn't like exactly how it was designed to be put together, because they give you so much freedom with it, you can just put it together however you want it.
Right, okay.
So like, I built a house, I'm like, I built a house and it's so cute and stuff, and then I look at like someone, I think like a Silverette's guy from YouTube who does stuff, and he's built like just like the Alps with like buildings and stuff. And a roller coaster that goes through more perfectly, and I'm like my house.
but my house. Okay, cool. That was my question.
Yes, I answered it, and I made America great again.
Yes, I answered it.
I have done it.
I have answered your question.
I have. That's all. That's pretty much all I've been playing, I think.
The entire time. I can see sinking a lot of time into that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I need to do this thing. I'll just quickly play Planet Coaster, and it's 6 weeks later. Uh-oh.
That's why you missed your wedding, dude.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
That's why it's October. Oh.
Yeah, that's why. It was one of those scenes where you went in and the days just started spinning behind you.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like a camera on his face, and then it slowly goes up to the clock. The clock. Ding.
And I've only lit like one bush in the game. I'm like, no, there. I did it. Like a massive beard.
We've made your 80s movie.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. Yep.
Yep. Good.
Good.
I
Excellent.
play Hyperlight Drifter today. You wanna know why?
Yeah.
They've just ended the beta for the 60 FPS version. The thing that they said they probably couldn't do. Well, they've done it. Yeah, big deal. It's like I backed that fucking game and then never played it because like I don't want to play this at this speed. Actually, that's not true. I did play it for about 5 minutes and it was like playing treacle.
I was gonna say I thought you played it.
Yeah,
when
and
we
I
talked
hated
about
it.
it originally.
I fucking hated it, and they actually did it. They finally changed it around. You know, and the annoying thing is, it's kind of their own fault. They put themselves in this situation. I mean, if I recall correctly, it's a Game Maker game. And Game Maker has the option for either 30 or 60-bit. You have to start that way. Actually reverting it back afterwards, that's kind of no bueno. But they have apparently managed it. They spent a ton of time doing it, which is awesome. And I imagine that game is going to be a fuckload better now. So I want to give that a bash.
And twice as loud. They promise it will be twice as loud.
No.
Twice as loud.
They did not. No.
THX.
You're thoroughly misrepresenting it. They didn't say that at all.
Double the hypers. Double the lights.
Double the drifting. Overdrift.
Overdrift.
It's actually just Need for Speed brought back. No one really noticed.
It's a racing game. I'm sorry. It's a totally different game.
Yeah, so I want to play that. Not that I have, but that's the thing I want to play. That's something I'm aspiring to play.
I see. But you've mostly just been playing mobile games. Is that correct?
I mean, outside of Battlerite, which I'll talk about in the second hour, I did go back to Clash Royale a bit because they put in a fairly large update to that game.
Interesting.
It was good in a few...
Yeah, we all fell off of that game.
Yeah, of course you did. It didn't surprise me. Although, I did as well. Because it's mostly because I just didn't... I lacked an objective, I think, in that game.
I got too powerful.
Yes, I became too powerful.
Sunlight burned my wings, and...
It was, I think it's when they put the tournament update in. I was really looking forward to the tournament update. And the tournament ended up being just the worst. Like, not tournaments in any way. And I just thought, fuck this, I'm done. They redid the tournament mode into what's more like a WoW arena mode, whereby you can win up to 12 times, but once you lose 3, you're out, and you pay a small amount of gems to go in and you get a prize. That's much better. It's like, now I have an objective every time I play, which is awesome. They've also made it a little less terrible for free-to-play players. They offer like daily deals, which you can pick up, which will guarantee you certain cards. So a lot of people were complaining, I can't get a legendary. Fuck, I want a legendary card. Now it's like, yeah, totally. We'll offer you a legendary card for X amount of either in-game currency or the premium currency. And they gave everyone a big starter pack as well, which contained a bunch of useful stuff. The problem, well, I mean, obviously the problem with that game being that you can spend almost infinite money, but the problem was really the random acquisition of a lot of things. And it's like spending the money wasn't necessarily a problem. It's just that you could spend the money and never get what you want. That was bullshit. Right. Now they've made that a lot easier, and they've rebalanced a lot of the cards, and the game just generally feels a lot better. I realized I'm shit at it now. I've completely forgotten how to play that game. I used to be good. At least I think I was. Either that or I just paid too much money. It's possible that I just paid a lot of money and that made me good. But outside of that, it is a lot more fun to play now that there's an actual reason to play. Instead of just, yay, let's get trophies. Oh, trophies. I lost all my trophies. I'm back to where I was again. What am I doing this for again?
Trophies. I've lost
trophies.
How do I hold all these trophies?
I
dropped them.
Yeah, but the little challenge mode is nice. That's a good reason to play it again, I think. and they have a nice little additional card variety. It feels pretty good. Some of the best cards in the game are now really, really cheap commons. So that's nice. It's nice to see the meta sort of swing towards something that everybody can have. Instead of, hey, you need 3 legendary cards, which are nigh and impossible to get if you want to be competitive past a certain level. They did fix that a bit, which is good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's an improvement. It finally knocked Pokemon Go off the top grossing spot after they introduced that update. It's been there for months. Not anymore! Clash Royale, getting all the money again.
Fuck Niantic.
Yay!
You ruined your game.
I mean, I'm not sure that's something worth celebrating one way or the other, but hey.
Yay.
Yay, indeed. There was this other mobile game that I played as well that kind of caught my eye because of the theme called Shadow Wars. I think it's by the guys that made Monsters 8 My Metropolis, which theme-wise was really cool, where you had just a giant crab monster that would fight other monsters and stuff like that. It looks really awesome. It was published by Adult Swim, I think, but the actual game wasn't very fun. It's something of a kind of match 3 monster collecting RPG, but they've gone down this weird 90s cartoon route of, what if all of these ancient mythical beings were cool, rad dudes? What if you could get Kid Tut? He's a mummy, but he plays hockey, so he's awesome and rad.
Sure. What about Kid Tut?
Kid Tut.
Hold on. You guys continue. I need to look something up.
Sam Hain, who's just Sam, like S-A-M. Sam Hain. He's got a baseball cap. He's on fire.
Great.
All right.
It's all dumb 90s shit. Like, it feels...
I would like to time out on this. Dumb 90s shit is where I exist, by the way. But also, time out. I feel like, TB, we have a lawsuit pending here because, I quote, January 24th, 2011, Jesse and TB play DC Universe Online. My character's name was Kid Tut.
I know. I know.
Sue these motherfuckers. Take them for all their money.
Yep. You used to be Kid Tut.
Kid Tut.
Got some fact checking going on in that
But
corner.
you weren't a mummy with a hockey stick, though, and you weren't super rad and tubular, so...
I was I was a mummy with an afro. Kid Tut was awesome.
That sounds pretty tubular to me.
It was
He
tubular.
was tubular. He was bodacious and rad. Y'all don't even know.
Yeah, it took me a while to
God.
identify where that came
Yeah,
from. Like, hang on, that is Jesse's character, isn't it?
Yep.
It's the game itself.
We did that.
The only reason they're kind of playing it, I think, is the theme. It gives me a weird Vampire the Masquerade vibe, where it's like you're fighting in like New York and all these other places, but there's actually secret societies summoning fucking 90s cartoon demons, and it's all super serious and they swear at each other. But it was just like, this is, I mean, gameplay wise, it's, fairly satisfying match 3 battle RPG with a bit of collecting, but I just want to see what stupid cartoon variants of weird mythical monsters they can come up with. Like, the Jersey Devil is in it, and I'm pretty sure it's just a really angry rabbit. That's
great.
It's not a real
It
monster.
sounds like 90s trading cards that you would get with
Yes, it really is
Garbage Pail
that.
Kids.
It's exactly Garbage Pail Kids.
Well, you remember stuff like like Mighty Max. You remember Mighty Max?
I do.
With those little play sets that you could have. It feels a lot like
Remember
that.
Mighty Mouse?
And
No.
Polly Pocket.
Polly
And
Pocket,
Polly
yeah. Polly
Pocket.
Pocket was the girls'
and Pound
version.
Puppies.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
Kid's sister.
it's fine. I don't envision playing a lot of it, but it's just really nicely presented, and it's got a really cool look
Did
to
we
it.
just
and
member
a really
berries that
stupid theme.
entire conversation?
Yes, you just keep doing that. It's fine.
Remember Polly Pocket?
I mean, it is just a mobile game. It's not like much discussion is required, but yeah,
Remembered berries right there.
We remember Buried, yeah.
absolutely. What you can't bury, however, is our sponsor today. Because our sponsor is audible.com/cynical, and we are contractually obligated to talk about it.
That was great.
What a segue. You can't bury it because it's a multinational corporation with a lot of money. Reading is obsolete thanks to audible.com. Head over to audible.com/cynical for your free audiobook and trial. I would say that I've been reading, but I haven't, because I've been listening, because I'm lazy, and this site enables me to be just that. Star Wars Heir to the Empire, Jesse, a book that I think you've worshipped repeatedly in the past.
This is fantastic.
I had never read it. I don't know how I managed to avoid it, but I'd never read it, and it's widely considered to be like one of the best Star Wars books ever. And I listened to the whole thing, It was read by Mark Thompson, who is a brave man because he tries to do all the voices. Now, bear in mind, of course, that it being a Star Wars book based, I think it's about 5 years after the destruction of the Death Star 2.
It's no longer canon. Point of order.
I don't care. If this is not canon...
phenomenal. It's still phenomenal, but no longer canon.
I refuse to believe that. In my mind, I think...
everyone else. You and every other Star Wars nerd.
This is such a good follow-up. Like, it feels like a Star Wars movie. It has everything that a Star Wars movie would have in it. It has swashbuckling. It has evil alien assassins. It has dark Jedi. It has, temptation. It has Imperial nonsense. Everyone who is Imperial has a British accent and feels, suitably arrogant about everything. Thrawn is amazing. This guy does all the voices. He does a pretty damn passable Han Solo. I've got to give him credit for that. Yeah. He also does a Wookiee with a speech impediment.
That's right. You were talking about that earlier.
There's a thing that I thought I would never hear in my life. And yet, here we are. That's cracking. It's a really good one. I listened to almost the whole thing. I binged the whole thing over the course of a couple of days. It was just great. Great use of sound assets, awesome narration. Really great story. Looking forward to hearing the other two. Jesse, if I recall correctly, you were also checking out a Star Wars book recently.
Yo, if you're willing to go down the rabbit hole and you start to find that you really like Star Wars books, Mark Thompson did a lot of the new Aftermath books, I believe, as well. So I've definitely been in a Mark Thompson zone as of late. If you're willing to go down the rabbit hole and you really want to learn more about this Star Wars expanded universe stuff, first off, shameless plug for my podcast about it, but
of course,
on the podcast we just did season 2 of Clone Wars, which is not a book at all, but it's part of the canon, and it's still barely an okay show to watch. But one of the characters, Asajj Ventress, her story's never resolved in that show, and they made a book about it, and so I finally got that on Audible. It's called Dark Disciple, and it's her story about what happens after, where she goes, because she's a cool character that they never resolve, and this is the resolution of her story.
Where are they now?
Yeah, if you go down that rabbit hole of Star Wars nerddom, this book is eventually where you'll end up, and it's awesome. It's really cool, and it brings back a lot of characters that also got that we just sort of stopped writing about them or talking about them treatment, and they put them all in one book, and it's pretty great. So I would highly recommend that, and it's the best way. Look, the best way to do a Star Wars book is on Audible. I'm letting you know now. It's a radio play. It's not just a book read.
Yeah, a lot of these things are basically radio plays at that point. Either they have multiple people doing it, or they have a guy who's just very good at voices. And the Star Wars books always have a great use of sound assets as well, which helps a lot, because they have all of the official music. They kicks in at just the right time. That's what made Heir to the Empire feel like an actual Star Wars movie to me, because they had a perfect use of music in that. Yeah, that is not the only thing you can do over Audible, however. Dodger, you were talking to me about something a little unusual.
Oh, yeah. I found out that they have, radio shows.
They do. They don't just do audiobooks.
Audible.
They do radio stuff.
So I was looking for... I've basically been wanting to read more books about cryptids, because I think that they're fascinating. A cryptid is basically... A cryptid is a creature that may have existed, but there isn't really proof. There's just a lot of hearsay, a lot of stories that line up about the same looking.
Isn't that cryptozoology? Is that what
it is? Cryptozoology, yes.
I listen to Coast Coast AM.
So they have a radio show on Audible called The Legend of the Goat Man: Horrifying Monsters, Cryptids, and Ghosts. And I have not listened to it yet, but I listened to the little snippet, and it takes place, I'm pretty sure, in a truck, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to listen to it. I hear all about the Goat Man.
I should start listening to more non-fiction, actually, on Audible. It seems like an ideal way to do it. I just can't get through that many biographies. I just can't. I don't find them interesting to read, but I'd listen to them. I'll be all right.
The comedy ones are amazing because it's almost always recorded by the author.
Yeah,
it's like a TFA book, and they're so good.
Hilarious. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah. I love listening to the comedy ones while I'm exercising or something, because it keeps me not focused on the fact that my whole body hurts. So there you go. Anyways, Legend of the Goat
Audible.com/cynical.
Man.
An effective painkiller. No prescription required. But do go
Did you
check
say-
out our sponsor. There are so many audiobooks available for you, and you can get a free trial. Grab yourself a free audiobook. Audible.com/cynical. Syncs across pretty much any device. Also syncs with a real book on Kindle, if you so desire. So if you want to
Ooh.
pretend you're reading, you can do that. But with headphones in, no one will know that you're cheating. And it will be perfectly set up and perfectly synced up just for you. Get more credibility on public transport with audible.com/cynical.
Yep.
Something along those lines. Go listen to a bunch of Star Wars books. Nobody knows that you have terrible taste with audible.com/cynical. They have erotica. Quite a lot of it, actually.
Yo.
And no one will know.
Sadly, no Telltale Batman erotica, but one day.
Oh.
Someday, it is possible. They're a very inclusive
One day.
company.
You seem genuinely upset about that, don't you?
Don't worry, guys. I'm going to write it. I'm going to be the premier Telltale
Oh my
Batman
God.
fanfic erotica writer.
You watch the Corruptional Podcast. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Corruptional Podcast. Woo! You see, we'd fix your camera for 2 minutes. Trust us, we did.
I
And then it
know.
broke
I
again.
had so much faith.
It's like,
It
wow.
seemed like it was fixed.
I don't know
I'm
what
on a
happened.
crashing spaceship currently. That's yeah. That's what the issue is. It's just some signals getting fried.
Understandable.
It
Trying
has
to
been known
fix
to
it.
happen.
Yeah.
Jesse, what have you been playing this week? Apparently the mic game is what you've been playing this week.
Muted. You're muted, darling. Darling.
No,
Aware.
There you go.
okay, here we go.
So yeah, no, shout out first off to everyone who watched and my illustrious office colleagues for the Mario RPG stream this weekend. That was
That was so fun. I had never played that game before.
for those of you out there who have never played the Super Mario RPG. It's basically what Kingdom Hearts was before Kingdom Hearts existed. Imagine a game where they took all the Mario characters and then put them with nonsensical bullshit. That's basically what this game is. It's nonsense, but it's so much fun and so silly.
Before that, the Mario plots made so much sense.
Well,
I know, right?
imagine that, and then Square Enix or SquareSoft at the time getting involved and like making it an RPG with a story that makes even less sense than the normal Mario story. The best thing they did was give another layer to all the characters. So, like for instance, you have Peach, who turns out to be like a certifiable badass. There is Bowser. Who is
Bowser.
literally like always trying to show off about how like tough he is, but really on the inside he's like, oh jeez, everyone's gonna hate me. It's amazing. Like they introduce a bunch of new characters. There's little Cloud Baby that Dodger got to be the
Mallow.
yeah, who's a marshmallow because he looks like ice cream, and everyone wants to eat him. I guess
Actually,
I
a
don't know.
cloud. Just
He's a cloud. And then there's all the stars, and we came up with an amazing theory that Gino the star is actually Rosalita's star. Think about it.
Good theory.
It's a nonsense game with a silly plot, but it's super fun and like you don't have to. It's not like a make you think kind of game. It's like I get to play these Mario characters and do crazy Mario shit. It was a blast, and it's super short for an RPG. We took our time with it and did all the bonus stuff, and still 14 hours was the
It's
end of it.
14 hours, yeah. Like with reading out loud, reading all of the dialogue.
Yeah. And
There's
doing
been
the
a
worst
fairly-
possible voices.
If the internet is to be believed anyway, there's a lot of desire for another Super Mario RPG, and there is a game coming out. It's the latest Paper Mario, isn't it?
Paper
And
Mario
people are
is
complaining
actually,
that's not really an RPG anymore. The first wasn't the first Paper Mario very RPG, and it's become a lot less
it's
since.
supposed to be like, from what the legend is that Paper Mario, the first one, was originally going to be Super Mario RPG 2.
Right.
And then there was a mix-up with the teams, whatever, and it became Paper Mario.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely in that same vein. I would love to see a Mario RPG 2, mostly because it's just fun. Like, it's a fun experience. It's not about giving you a serious, wild, crazy story. It's Mario, right? You're fighting fucking turtles and stuff. What's fun is the introduction of new characters that you don't think would fit in that world, but totally do. Like Booster, which is literally just the guy who goes, ah, the entire time and tries to, like, marry Peach, but doesn't understand what the concept of marriage is. So he's
Okay.
not really sure why he's doing it. He just
And
knows
Mike is also kind of trying to kill you, but also kind of considers you his best friend.
right. Yeah,
Very
It's
weird.
It's so bizarre. Like he doesn't know who Mario is, but owns a Mario doll. Like it's a very bizarre, weird game, and there's
And
so many.
Kind of not dark, but like is willing to be a bit more twisted than I think Nintendo ever wants Mario games to be.
Right.
You know, like there are lots of creatures that you fight that totally make sense in a Final Fantasy situation, but do not make sense in a Mario situation where you're like, that's a little horrifying, like for a Mario game.
One of the enemies is literally Donkey Kong in chains. Like literally, Donkey Kong in chains is an enemy. I think the best part about it is when you finally get to the end, like through the entire game, all the bosses are weapons. Right? There's a bow and arrow boss, and there's a spear boss, and there's a shield, like there's a bomb boss, right? When you get to the end, you discover that all those bosses are like production line bosses. There's going to be a million trillion of those bosses. And you realize very quickly all the heroes and villains of the Mushroom Kingdom and the other worlds have united to stop the the military industrial complex. Like that's the moral of this game. And it's like such a ridiculous. It's like, yeah, well, in Mario, they don't use weapons to kill each. Like hammers, those are tools. Like they don't use weapons, and
Right.
we don't want weapons in our world. And it's a very like political statement ending that I actually really love. I think it's very clever of
It was
them.
interesting. It was a fun game, yeah.
Yeah, like it's a game that's super silly, and in the end, you're like, I see the moral of it, like what this was all about.
You should punch each other, not shoot each other.
Stamp on each other.
I
That's
see.
the way to go.
I get
That's the
it.
Batman approach. We don't
Yeah.
kill anyone.
Use
We
a
just
cannon.
You could break
leave
your
them-
ribs and potentially, puncture a lung and kill them
crippling,
that way.
life-changing injuries.
But
It's a very like Japanese moral code game of just like, if you're gonna fight like with some honor, asshole. Like it's that kind of like, don't be the dude who's like firing arrow. Like it's a very interesting moral game that I love how silly it is. It's very silly with like a good point to what you're doing, and we'll never see anything like it again. Like it's about as close to what Kingdom Hearts has become as you'll get, except Kingdom Hearts is like, we tried to make it super serious. Like nobody cares about that. They just want to see like, look, I just want to see.
what do you mean nobody cares about that?
Nobody cares. Like
Nobody cares about Kingdom Hearts. Jesse's going on the record saying nobody cares about Kingdom
I have a
Hearts.
feeling you may be a little blinkered on that one.
no,
I'll
no,
back
no.
you up, Jesse. I'll back you up. Nobody cares.
Fuck me. All right, Donald Trumps, hold on. Let me. What I'm saying is,
Wrong.
I never
people-
said that. Jess is
the
going to deny
people-
saying that later.
fucking shit. This is why we're gonna have Trump as president, and when he boots them all out, I'll be here. Like, look, sorry. No, the premise is that all these people like Kingdom Hearts, the concept, no one gives a fuck about the story, is what I'm saying. The story is nonsensical. People like the idea of, I get to play as this kid who's fighting alongside Mickey Mouse and Cloud as we battle fucking Sephiroth. People love that shit. The story is gibberish. And if anyone's like, I like it for the story, then you are a crazy person and completely survival. I don't know anyone who does. If you are in the chat, I ask you to come forth so that we may recognize you and put you on the other side of the wall that Trump will build, because, oh my God, it's nonsense. It's not about the story. See, Durarian Furion, you're on the other side of the wall. That guy's gone. That guy will kidnap you. That's a crazy person. He will take your kids at night. That guy gone. Love in chat, get him on the other side of the wall. That guy, you don't know what he'll do. He's the one who like rubs his balls on your food at dinner. That's that guy. Get him out of here. That's what I'm saying. See, everyone who agrees Kingdom Hearts doesn't have a story, thank you for being normal and not a fucking weeboo. Done. And scene.
I don't even like Kingdom Hearts and I feel condemned.
Well, you should.
I feel like I don't like
I
it
have nothing to
enough.
do with this and I still feel guilty.
Other side of the wall.
Which side of the wall has Kingdom Hearts 3? I think that'll be a big seller.
I think some people would willingly go.
Send me over there.
I'll be long dead after Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3 will come out and our grandchildren will get to play it. We'll be long dead. All of us will be gone. It'll be the aliens will come to Earth and be like, what's this thing that was unreleased? Oh
my God. It's going to be like the Bridget Jones's Baby of video games.
Yeah, it'll come out and people will be like, what is this about?
What is this? Is this a series? What is this?
Yeah, we'll never get it. Also, wasn't there a Final Fantasy VII thing supposed to happen? What happened to that? Where'd that go? Where'd that go? Square Enix, what are you doing? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, Square Enix?
Final Fantasy 15, I think.
Where's my Deus Ex? Square Enix.
What? It's out. They released it.
I don't have my fucking collector's edition that they mailed to the Where's that at?
Are you denying the existence of Deus Ex Mankind Divided because it hasn't yet turned up for you?
Yes, I'm done.
It doesn't work that way.
Trumps of this group.
It doesn't work that way at all. It still exists. It's real, Jesse. It's real. You playing it on your channel. You don't get to deny it. It's real.
It's too deep. It's too deep
End scene.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow, this is amazing.
This show's just... I don't even know what... Stop caring.
I actually have played Mystic Messenger now. Because people...
Oh, thank God. It was
I know.
important. Everyone was very interested in your opinion on that.
They are, because I got nonstop fucking tweets from people for like 2 weeks being like, are you playing Mystic Messenger yet? Or what's going on? So guys, here's my opinion. The game moves a little too slow and all of the characters are immature. And it's not the game for me.
You know what a better
isn't it
game
supposed
is?
to be a text message simulator? Like,
It
that
is.
sounds
So it,
like it's working as intended.
It is very aware of itself too. Like it'll give you answer because all of the answers are pre-written for you, but you get to choose which one you want to do.
Yes.
And sometimes it'll be like, do you ever think about why you're here? And one of your answers usually can be, I don't know, man, I just downloaded this game. But yeah, it's supposed to be like a game that mimics a messenger app. Uh-huh.
Sorry, this is just
That's
a much
another
better
game
version
that
of that
mimics a
game.
messenger app.
A much better version of that game.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's
Mr.
great. You
Robot
can talk
game.
about it after I'm done.
Oh, I won't. I'm just pointing it out that this is much better. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Shut him the fuck down.
But the game is set up so that every hour or so you get a potential text conversation that you can participate in. It'll happen with or without you. So the same people will still show up. And if you're not there for it, then they'll just have a conversation with each other. You can use the currency inside of the game to like redo the conversation if you want to. It sort of depends on like what butt you're trying to touch, I think. But I don't know, the concept of it works for me, but it just moves too slow for me. And I'm not interested enough to wake up in the morning and be like, well, while I was sleeping, I probably missed like 4 conversations.
That is, however, the entire point of the game. It is designed to be paced that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just not, it doesn't work for me, really. One of the things that I think is kind of smart, though, is that every now and then you'll get a phone call from one of the boys, and it's like a fully voiced phone call that you can like respond to and stuff. And I'm like, that's pretty dope that they got people to like record so many phone calls that you can potentially get in this app.
It's a friend simulator.
Yep.
Aww.
Perfect for those that don't have any real people to talk to.
Ooh. Oh.
It's not fair. There's an asshole in this game who really loves cats. And I was like, there he is. That's the boy for me. And you can't get him unless you're in the deep story, which means you have to defeat. You have to complete the casual story with one of the other boys first. And then you get to go for asshole cat boy. And I was like,
gotta
nope,
ramp up to asshole Catboy.
I can't. I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength for it. So yeah, that's Mystic Messenger. Would you like to talk about the Mr. Robot game now, Jesse?
Am I allowed to?
No.
No.
Am I allowed to, Mom? Is that okay with you?
Fine.
Now that I'm done talking, yes.
Wow. Okay, so
We should have hired you for the moderator last night.
yeah, when did this show become We Don't Interrupt Dodger podcast? Because that's not what I signed up for. That's what this is.
I think
a new
you'll
day,
find
Jesse.
there is
It's a
actually
new
a clause
America.
in your contract that
it's a new
specifically allows
America.
us to do this.
Hashtag patriarchy, hashtag we're still number one. I'm not okay with this. So
What?
everything. Number one at everything.
Number one at
Number one at childbirth, number one at bra wearing, number one at long hair, patriarchy. So,
Number one at childbirth is in like you have the most children or you got the widest hips. So how you judging this?
They
thing?
just do it the best. They do it the most
well,
stylishly.
I don't know.
Well, like for the time, I'm just like, yeah. Woo.
Yeah, I feel like
Why are you asking
there's a
so many
point system.
questions?
It's
Why
like
are you
this-
asking so many questions?
I'm just interested.
Who are
in,
you?
I'm
Set
interested
up,
in your
set up little
culture.
hoops.
You're
Like
a guest here in our house, and you
if you get it through the
dare
hoops,
ask
you get
us
extra
questions?
points. Do a little, it does a little
Get outta
corkscrew on the way out. That's like 50 points.
Yeah,
It's
there's
basically like
Yes,
reckless
the
disregard
line
for
do
gravity.
that. It's just-
Only
It's
the
got
childbirth
gravity.
version of R.
oh yeah, it's. If you have any comments or questions about today's podcast, please tweet them at DexBonus.
Sounds great.
Twitter.
Leave me alone.
go for it. Hit me up.
Talk
answer
about
for
the
me.
fucking Mr. Robot game.
I already did like 2 weeks ago. I don't need to talk about
Yeah,
it again.
you
I
have
don't
already
care.
talked
I wasn't
about it.
listening that time.
I'm much more interested in playing the Mr. Robot game now that I've watched almost all of the first season of Mr. Robot.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a game you can really play without. I think you've got to play about halfway through, because it's set about halfway through the first season, right? If I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's set after episode 5, but the thing is, it might also behoove you not to know much about Mr. Robot, because if you're gonna role play the game, there's a lot of times where the conversations you're having, a person would respond, "What
But
are you talking
you
about?"
metagame it.
Right.
Yeah, but you're like, "I know what they're referring to," and you're like, "I'm in." Yeah.
I wonder if it plays with you on that level.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
didn't play it because when we talked about it originally, you said that I should wait until after I've watched the show.
It does play with you, and there's a lot of stuff it plays with you on that is more than just, you're not just, because it's not your phone per se in the story of the game, you're dealing with all these other things that are on the character's phone, and it's interesting. I'll give it that. I won't spoil nothing, because Mr. Robot is all spoils every episode all the time. There's never not a spoiler.
I fell asleep while we were watching episode 8. And for any of
Well,
you
now
who
you
have
have
watched,
no idea what's going on then.
oh,
I watched the whole thing and I'm still not sure I know what's going on.
we were watching episode 8, and I fell asleep halfway through, and then I woke up to Sam going, "What? What? What is this?
Yep.
What?" Like
Yep.
just losing it.
It was lovely.
Yeah. And so then I got caught up and we watched episode 9, and it's quality shit. It's nice. Somehow I managed to not get spoiled on any aspect of Mr. Robot. I had no idea going into it anything about it. And that made it so much more satisfying to guess things and then be correct.
That's how you know I fundamentally love a thing, is when I will not spoil it. I will literally just be like, "Go watch it," so I have someone to talk to about it.
And that's rare.
Let me
it.
tell
He
you this
wallows
cool
in the
thing I
misery of
saw.
others.
You know what? I do, and it's not because I for lack of trying. I just don't. I want people to watch it. It's a great show. I love it. And
It is.
I'd like it to complete its run. They're only making it 5 seasons long. So, let's get 3 more out of this thing.
Absolutely.
Word.
The game concept is interesting. I have a feeling that those little games that message.
Message.
Man.
That's a bigly word.
Like,
They
don't
message-
elect me. I'm not qualified for office. I can't speak.
Aw.
Just want to point that out. Anyway, yeah, those games that message you and play with reality are interesting to me. I don't care about this whole AR nonsense where it's like, point your phone camera and there'll be something there. Woo!
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking clever. It's like they did that shit on the 3DS ages ago, and it was gimmicky then, it's gimmicky now.
It fuck Pokemon.
We should make one. Jesse, we should make one where the person who's playing it is an intern in our office.
Oh my fuck, that would be.
It would literally just be every 20 minutes, Jesse's just like, get me coffee, bitch. And that's the whole game.
That's definitely not a. It would be a lot more dramatic than that.
We don't have the budget to incorporate your more dramatic freakouts. We got to start small. We kickstart it.
We could. Yo, look, all that matters is the devs of Oxenfree made the Mr. Robot game, and those guys killed it with Oxenfree. So, like, hey, yo, devs, if you want to make a shitty game, a really shitty game, call me. I actually know those guys. Call me. Let's make this happen. No one will buy it. No one will care, but we'll play it.
We'll know that it exists, and we will play it.
Shit out of that. And then I won't remember what's real and what's not. Oh my god! I own Mr. Robot. Like, I don't even know what's real anymore.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
So back to real video games for a little while, I guess. I can talk about Battlerite. Because that's been a big deal over the last week for quite a few people.
I have heard nothing but good things about
Literally
Battlerite.
top of the Steam charts for like a week. Which is very surprising because it's very similar to the previous game that this company made called Bloodline Champions, and nobody gave a fuck about that game. And yet they gave a fuck about this one, which is interesting. Maybe it was just right place, right time. So, Battlerite is what would happen if you took all of the elements of something like Dota or League of Legends, stripped away all of the PvE aspect of it, the lanes, the items, the currency, and you turned it into an arena gladiatorial game, where you had a character with certain abilities, they all do a set amount of damage, no randomness, nothing like that. You pick a team of either 2 or 3 people, you each play one, and you play a best of 5 series, where when you're dead until the end of the round.
Okay.
Very simple. Kind of like what a multiplayer online battle arena would be if you took the term literally and didn't just make that shit up so that you didn't have to call yourself Dota. Yeah, it's just utter nonsense. It's kind of like what WoW PvP would be if WoW PvP was good, for instance. And it seems to have very much resonated with people. I mean, the first game, which was Bloodline Champions, resonated a lot with me. I loved it. I thought it was a phenomenal competitive game. It was very balanced. It was very, very skill-orientated. There was no randomness, no nothing. But a few weird things happened. I believe that, the game kind of went in the wrong direction. I think the company lost the rights to it eventually through their publisher or whatever. So they basically went and made another game called Battlerite, which has some of the same characters in it, but they've renamed them, redesigned them a little bit. If you've played the original, you can clearly recognize some of the characters in it. But it's just a nice, simple, competitive game that involves a shitload of skill and some very satisfying results. It's got some fighting game-esque elements in it. You have EX attacks that take up meter and things like that. Everything's aimed. Nothing's, there's no random crits or anything like that. You just, you do the damage it says it will do. And it's got some really cool clutch moments as well. If you're down one guy and, it's 2 versus 1, you can totally win it if you're good enough. If you know what you're doing. Character variety is great. Feels like there's a lot to learn for each character. There's a lot of subtlety and nuance to each character, a lot of variety in the abilities you've got. And I think it's a really watchable game as well. It's very clean. People have said that it's surprisingly easy to watch. I think if you go and watch something like League of Legends, it's a mess. Go watch Dota, it's a mess. You watch this, it feels like it was designed to be watched. It's clean. Every ability does what it's supposed to do. Everything looks obvious. When someone's using ability that does counter, it says fucking counter above their head. It's very obvious that something's going on. There's nothing hidden.
Oh my god, that sounds like a dream. As somebody who hates MOBAs because I find them too complex.
Yeah. I think it takes the part of MOBAs that a lot of people really enjoy watching, which is those big team fights where everyone's using their abilities and pulling off the clutch plays, and it makes the whole game that. That's all it is. And that sounds like it wouldn't have a lot of legs. It sounds like people wouldn't stick with it. There is a very real risk of that. Progression is purely cosmetic, which I'm totally fine with, and I think that's the only way you can go with that. If you start fucking with people, if you start making it so that someone has an advantage over somebody else other than just pure skill, then that's going to be a problem. But for me, I love jumping into that game and just playing a few rounds. Rounds are quick. Matchmaking's quick. If you get a bad teammate, whatever, you'll probably be done in about 3 or 4 minutes. Not a big deal. Just queue up again. Give it another shot. And it does a great job of identifying what you did wrong as well. Tells you exactly what you got hit by, when you got hit by it. Everything's so obvious and visual. There's nothing confusing about it. Everything is your fault. Everything.
Great.
Absolutely everything. You fuck up, that's on you. And it's very easy to see why you fucked up. Instead of a game like League of Legends or Dota where it's like, I don't know why I lost that fight. It's very obvious why you lost the fight in this game.
Right.
And people seem to be liking it a lot. It's been streamed quite a lot. Everybody I've played it with has really enjoyed it. They've said, hey, this is pretty tough, but, when I do it right, when I nail those abilities, when I hit that guy full on, it feels really satisfying to do it. Every attack has some real impact to it. Everything feels like it's doing real damage. It's got that kind of fighting gamey little element to it. But you don't have to learn any fucking moves or anything. All the moves are just on basic keys. So it's like, my special move, right, I want to use my ultimate, just press R. Cool. But it feels like a fighting game in the way I had to build up the meter to get that and all that kind of thing. So it is really, really good, in my opinion. And I hope it does really well. It's constantly growing right now.
It's awesome.
Which is surprising. I did not expect it to do as well as it did.
I'm surprised because I didn't know it existed until it was released.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of hype behind it.
It's in early access.
It's snuck up on people. Yeah, so I believe the game's going to be releasing as free-to-play, but their early access model is if you buy into the early access, then you get all of their future, heroes or whatever. So that's kind of the way they're doing it. They're like, well, you buy in at this stage, but when it comes out, it will be free-to-play. I don't think that's a huge problem, because it's 2 to 3 man teams. If you don't have access to all of the heroes, that's not really a big deal. You're picking comps blind anyway, so it's not like you can counterpick people. And you have a little bit of flexibility when you go into the game as well, which I think is a nice little addition. Every round, you get what's called a Battlerite, which is a little buff that you pick from, a selection of 3. And you can kind of adapt your character a little bit on the fly to what's going on. Let's say you're just against a really heavy damage team, well, fuck, I need some more healing, or I need some more absorption, some more barrier. So I'm going to pick an ability which helps me out there. Or maybe we're just not putting out enough damage, or we don't have enough interrupt. So I'm going to adapt my character that way. So that's a nice little addition. It's like, well, okay, I don't think there's you don't have the wrong hero composition at any point. I've never come across a situation where I felt like we were fucked from the beginning because we picked the wrong dudes. We just didn't play them well. So that's good. I don't know how true that will be at the high level. I imagine there will be bans and drafting and stuff like that at some point. But
there always is.
Yeah. Which is
I feel
fine.
like it's almost impossible to have everything be perfectly balanced, right?
Probably. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's a lot of fun. That's my thing right now. It's my kind of only competitive thing right now. I don't really feel like playing anything else. I'm kind of done with Overwatch for a while.
Yeah.
I'm all played out on that game.
Good.
I haven't played it very much the last month or so.
No.
I think this goes back to something I've talked about. I'm sorry, Dodger. I'm sorry for interrupting you again.
It's okay, Jesse. Thank you for your apology.
I don't want people to get mad at me. Anyway, no, I think this goes back to something I've said forever about Blizzard. Their biggest problem is they release games and then immediately release an update to another game. And what happens is you play a game and then immediately new Warcraft's out. And I have not touched Overwatch since Warcraft came out. And I will imagine I'll play Warcraft until they update something else. And then I'm like, oh, well, now I've got to go. It's an inherent problem they have as a company that all their IPs feed off the other IPs. Because the fan base of Blizzard is Blizzard people play Blizzard games. And they just leech from each of their games from their own player base.
Yeah, they cannibalize from their own player base. I kind of agree with that. I mean, right now, I'm still playing a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, but they just announced Zarya. I'm like, oh, cool. I think I would really enjoy playing Zarya in Heroes of the Storm, so I'll probably play that. It's like, but instead of playing Overwatch, I'm now playing an Overwatch hero in another game.
Yeah. Or wasn't it Overwatch and WoW released stuff the exact same day?
The Eisenwald was the Eisenwald update or season 2 of the competitive at the same time as well?
I think it was an update.
Very close together. Yeah.
I think it was an Overwatch update that happened right when Legion was released. And it was like, why? Do you guys not talk to each other?
Probably not. No.
No. Yeah, they're such a big company now. I'd be willing to bet the vast majority of decisions are made without like all of them getting together to have a convo.
That's dumb. No.
I mean, I have to
not how
wonder
those
if
work.
the strategy probably works relatively well, because I think that those games are reaching outside of their core player base and grabbing new people. And even if there is a bunch of cannibalization, they're still getting new people in and making that whole user base that cannibalizes each other bigger in general. So it still works for them. I think they probably don't really care as long as you're playing a Blizzard game. And I'm trying to think of any point in the last 2 years where I haven't been playing a Blizzard game of some sort.
That's what I'm saying. I
like,
cycle through them all.
Yeah, actually, if I stop playing this, I probably start playing this, and it's still, I stopped playing Hearthstone and Overwatch. I'm like, I should play Heroes of the Storm again. I'm like, fuck, I can't seem to get away from this. Don't know how that happened, but hey.
My big question, and I don't know if this is about age, maybe just everyone's getting older there, or if it's about the company itself, or it's about Activision. I don't know, but it's interesting that it seems to me that Blizzard is doing very, very, very well. I'm curious why it seems like everyone of major note is jumping ship. And I don't know if that, I don't know the backstory there. I have no idea what it is. But from the outside looking in, a lot of the big names that we've known have left over the last year. And I don't know why that is.
I just think that happens naturally over time. Like, these are guys that have been with a company for a very, very long time, and they want to maybe try something different. They want to try something new, something outside of the Blizzard structure. I don't think it's indicative of a bad atmosphere or bad environment.
No, absolutely. Which is why, like I said, I don't know. I'm very curious because then you see, like, I'm curious about the atmosphere, like the structure there, or maybe because it's grown so big. Because didn't some devs just maybe Rob Pardo was part of it? Didn't they just make a new studio that's like a really small studio?
Yeah, there was a new one last few weeks. I can't remember exactly who joined it. Pretty big names though.
I'm very curious, like because I would imagine if I was a guy who started at a company that was very, very small, where if you watch the old videos and it's like 8 dudes in a shitty office, like, we're making Warcraft, right? I can imagine that you.
Yes, they were all elves. Every last one of them.
That you as that person are thinking like, this is awesome, this is really cool, but man, I miss those days when we were all like, we were this little tiny team and we started from the bottom, we're scrappy as hell. I can imagine that, but like, I don't know, it's just very interesting to me that it seems at its current success, like its height, people are like, well, now's the time to go. Maybe that's not who I am. I'd be like, let's do this shit, guys. I'd love to know that story. This is one of those things that I'd love to know. What is like the background, fly in the wall story of what's happening in there?
They're monolithically large, I mean, this is a company that has its own fucking campus that's larger than most hospitals. They have 4,700 employees. It's a massive, massive company, and I imagine that you've got to work in a very specific way within a company of that size, and that's okay for a time, and then some people are just saying, what, I've achieved all I can achieve here. I want to go strike out on my own with the experience that I've got. And I mean, this new studio, Bonfire, is hardly small. They got 25 million funding. Rob Pardo is heading it up, if I recall correctly. And they're looking towards being a sort of medium-sized studio. They're not going to be some tiny little indie team.
But they're doing it their way, I think is the point. Like, It isn't. They don't have. I've always said this, and it's just a belief I had, and it may totally not be true. But the way I have seen Blizzard over the last few years is that there's always been this like cloud of Activision above them. Like their choices they're doing.
I don't know how true that is.
The last 5 years, I don't know. It feels like a different company to me than what it was. And it's just my belief that there's this like cloud of Activision, and just the choices they made seem different than what they used to have been. But I mean, under that scenario would be like, yeah, hell yeah, let's start something crazy and new. Shit, that's what I do in my real life. It's like, I don't want to deal with this shit and just leave. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
none of us have any idea of how
Activision
the internal structure of this company works, but hey.
Not at all. None of us have a clue. So.
Sorry, John, I apologize. Dodge it. Sorry, I interrupted you. I apologize.
It's fine. It wasn't.
It's not fine.
So sorry, Doctor, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Look, it's fine.
No, it's not fine. You know
No,
what?
it's fine.
No, it's not. I don't want to have to explain to you what's fine and what's not fine, okay? This is not fine.
You're right.
We're all dicks.
And scene.
We're changing minds here today.
we're blowing minds. What's real? What's not?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. It's all about the kayfabe.
I'm so confused.
Play a little bit of Fractured Space.
What's that?
Well,
Wait, you talked about that last week, didn't
no,
you?
I didn't.
No?
Don't think so. It's a game that's kind of like Dreadnought, but not Dreadnought.
Ah.
There's a way to relate to it. It's Dreadnought with actual objectives other than just blow up the other Dreadnoughts. It's got like 31 different ships. It's got a kind of 2-lane system. You warp between areas. You try and capture the station in the middle, and that lets you move on to the aimed object. Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, basically, they just have 2 different areas that you teleport to. So there's either there's the left base and the right base. When you take one of those bases, you get access to the opponent's main space station thing, and then you've got to go to the space station and blow up like 4 things on the space station to win. So instead of it just being one open map, it's several open maps. There's also an area in the middle that opens up like halfway through the game, which is like, you get this station, you all get a buff, and then you all go fight over it and stuff like that. I mean, it plays like Dreadnought, pretty much. You know, you've got a different ship with different abilities. You know, you got your basic attack, you've got a few cooldown-based abilities. You can equip your ship with a crew, which is basically just a bunch of stats. The only good thing being that you can have a captain that is a cat and is fully voice-acted. So that's always great. Yeah, I'm not sure where they got that from.
Meow.
He's actually surprisingly coherent, far more so than that. You know,
Okay, good.
He gives actual orders.
Meow.
That whole system seems like a missed opportunity because really they're just a couple of voice lines each and some basic stats like 5% increase of fire rate and blah blah blah. Like, they're really boring stats, you know, the stats that I hate, things that you shouldn't be able to customize because they're all really really dull. Those sort of things. The game seems fine enough, you know, looks pretty, there's a good variety of ships. I always have an issue with games like that where I feel like the engagement's decided before I get into it, like dependent on who is in what area at any given time, especially since there are multiple areas you can be in, those 2 different lanes. It's like you warp in and then you immediately realize I'm fucked and there's nothing I can do about that because no amount of amazing ship captainry is going to get me out of this situation, that sort of thing. It's like, if you're in a 2v1, you're dead. Like, 100% of the time, you're dead. There's no trickery, no amazing move is going to get you out of it, because all the ships are really, really slow. Aiming's very, very easy. A lot of it's lock-on anyway. So it's like, well, I warped in, and that guy is a different class to me, and that class kills my class, so I guess I'm just resigning myself to my fate then. It feels like that. And that's... I think that the issue that I've got with that is not that it exists, because there's a lot of games like that, like Dota's like that, League of Legends like that. You know, the way you can lose a fight before you even start it. It's just, it feels like if I'm in a giant fuck-off capital ship, I should be able to do something about that. I should be able to change my fate. I should be able to outpilot that guy or outsmart that guy.
This is sounding very anime suddenly.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And you can't. You can't. It's simple as that. You're dead. It's at that point, what was even the point of having the fight in the first place? And you might say, well, you were just dumb for getting in there in the first place. Like, yeah, you're probably right, but I don't like feeling as if everything was predetermined, as if I never had a chance in the first place, unless someone was just horribly incompetent. But I guess when you have giant capital ships that are really like, you know, the size of a skyscraper and move really, really slowly and you can't really miss them, then that's going to happen, isn't it? It's all going to come down to numbers. So, I guess if I played with a proper team, I'd probably find it a little bit more enjoyable. As a solo experience, I've not really dug it.
Yeah. There are so many games that are like Team v Team, Arena, or objective-based games that are coming out right now. And it's rare that they come out and you're like, ah, yes, the me on my own experience is great.
Is good, yeah.
I love not being able to communicate with my team. This is great. Love it.
Yeah, that's definitely something like that. But even in like games like World of Tanks and War Thunder, you know, I still feel like you have a chance to.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, to like take that guy out. Maybe you get a lucky shot, or maybe he misses, or you're able to like flank that guy and catch him off guard or whatever. I just don't think that that can ever really happen in a game like Fractured Space. So I don't know. I think I'm playing it wrong. I'm approaching it incorrectly because I'd never feel that way about something like Dota. I'd always like, all right, cool. My support can't fight their assassin dude. Great. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. But in this game, I feel like I'm in a capital ship. I should be able to do anything. I can't do anything.
Right.
I can't do everything. I've got to work with my team, which, of course, in a solo situation is like, where are you going?
It's not going to work out.
No, come over here. Come back here. No, oh.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow.
Yeah.
Meow, meow,
Yeah.
So, speaking of space cats,
meow. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Of
the
course.
segues in this episode are amazing.
This is I don't even know how to describe this. I don't know. It's not a new game. It's Master of Orion. We've talked about it before. I actually like it a lot. But the thing that I learned last night, because last night I was playing for the first time as the Mirshan, which are like the cat people.
The cat people, yeah.
I learned, and I think this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is a Dodger thing. In the game, you get spies, right? You have a spy agency. All the spies are like, just drawings of what the spy would look like. They're not actually like animated or whatever. But all of the cat spies are literally just like tabby cats with Google Glass, or like like a Siamese cat, but he's got like dreads and it's so funny and out of place in this game. I was like, this is basically Dodger's life of just like my cat spies. Let's go. It's so ridiculous.
Where are my cat spies?
I was trying to look up images of them on Google so I could show you guys because they're hilarious. I can't find a one. They're it's so out of place and so funny that I was just like, I need to bring this up when you guys start talking about space cats. I was like,
What was the name of this game again?
Master of Orion?
Master of Orion. Right.
Yeah. It's an amazingly silly fun game. And, I'm shocked that I'm enjoying it as much as I am because some of the Master of Orion games have sucked. Have been terrible.
Number 3 specifically.
Yeah. So I'm excited that it's actually good and I like playing it.
I also play a little bit of Warhammer Eternal Crusade.
How was that?
I don't like it very much, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, that's going by your tone. I think we all expected you to say that.
It's a game that was initially pitched as being way more than it is now, and it was pretty obvious it was never going to attain that. Because they were saying it's going to be an MMO, and it's got all this shit, and it's like, wow, yeah, that seems like you can't do that. But and it eventually became third-person shooter. Objective-based third-person shooter with a couple of vehicles in it. And it is thoroughly met in every respect as far as I can tell.
That's too bad.
It's got a weird monetization system. It's got a UI that doesn't make any fucking sense. It has a very low time to kill. Everything is badly animated. It's got a crappy cover system. How do you fuck up like a Warhammer first person or third person shooter? I don't understand.
By that, do you mean it should have at least been able to ride on the coattails of Warhammer having a good universe to work with?
You'd think so.
Because I was going to say, there are plenty of first-person shooters without any of that still wind up getting borked, so...
I find it even hard to summon criticism for it, because it's just so fucking boring.
It's already dead. Stop. You've already killed it.
I just don't care. I don't care about it. And it's fucking 40k. I should care. But I don't. Because there's just nothing that stands out about that game. And it's weird, because I don't think you shouldn't even have to make anything stand out about it, because it's 40k. So in theory, you could just make anything, and it should work, but it doesn't.
Do you feel like I'm only asking you this because I know that you love Warhammer stuff. Do you feel like the people who made it didn't have a lot of reverence for the lore, or was
I
it
think
just?
they did, but the lore is irrelevant. They've also got a bunch of weird-ass weapons that I'm fairly sure don't exist in the 40k lore that are just...
irreverent.
They're very... And it's got to do with the microtransaction system or something like that. And it's like, you get this version of a plasma gun that has this name and everything. It's like an artifact weapon or whatever. I'm just like, a regular troop would never have that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't even know why this exists. I'm pretty sure you just made this up so you could sell it to people. The loadout system is a pain in the ass to use. The melee system seems incredibly simplistic. It seems like there's a bunch of hard counters in that game. It's so lazy and dull. I can't even summon up criticism for it. I'm so unenthusiastic about
this
it.
has rocked your fucking world. Like, you know what?
Mediocrity.
It is. I'm drowning in the mediocrity of it.
Aww.
Absolutely.
Aww.
Aww.
It's precious.
It's just a really boring third-person shooter with Warhammer characters in it. Like, it's a worse version of the multiplayer from Warhammer Space Marine, which wasn't very good in the first place. Like, that was the weakest part of that game, but I'm fairly sure this is worse, just on a slightly larger scale. Ugh.
I just enjoyed the absolute just 7 out of 10. Just 7 out of 10.
It's not a rant because he's just not angry enough to rant.
Care.
He's just disappointed. He's like a sad mom.
The beige of video games. It's just
Beige
there.
of video games.
It's just doing
Put that
nothing.
on the
Warhammer
box.
should never be the beige of anything.
Oh my
Yet it
god!
is.
Wait, when we make our app game, can the only quote on there be that it's the beige of video games?
Yes, you can have that.
Okay, good.
It's a good quote. I like that.
I think they just threw out every interesting idea they had and just went with the most generic thing they could. They had some interesting notions with that game. Like, they were going to offer it paid, but if you played free, you got to play as an orc. And the orcs were, like, massively outnumbering everybody else. And there would be, like, a sort of asymmetric element to it in that respect. Where it's like, you got 20 Space Marines and there's 200 orcs, go. That's not there. All the MMO elements, that's not there. There's supposed to be some PvE thing. That doesn't seem to be there right now either.
Was this No Man's Warhammer? Is that what you
kind of, yeah. It just had no hype behind it. Like, and to be fair, like, people knew it was going to be that because it's been in early access for like a year. So people knew exactly what state the game was in when it came out.
What's it like when it started in early access? You don't have the words to critique something.
I really don't. Like,
it's beautiful.
I'm trying to come up with the words as to why I just don't like it, and everything's just so fucking sloppy.
Thesaurus.
But it's sloppy in such a uninspired way.
Beige.
I like it when games are bad in a noteworthy way.
It's very off-white.
So you can talk about that. Games that are bad in an unnoteworthy, unexceptional way, those are difficult to talk about. Because you can't summon up the passion to hate it.
I quite enjoy that it says more words related to beige. Brown! Really? It's like the first word to come up.
Yeah.
Related to.
More words related to beige. Brown, insipid! Okay, well, that's a bit of a jump there. I've never said anything's insipid because it's beige. Well,
I mean, it would work today, right? It would work in this context.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's just shoddy as fuck and not interesting.
That's too bad.
Well, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Snore. Just play Space Marine instead.
Or Master of Orion. I want to play that now that I know that there's cats in it.
Yeah, of course there is, because Orion's belt was around his neck and had the galaxy in it, and it's master of that thing.
That's the only reason you play anything, because you're a one-dimensional character on this podcast. Ha ha, you're defined by cats. Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. Anime. Ha 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 ha.
Is my reality collapsing? Is that what's happening with this right now? I feel really
We've all
weird.
just
This
given
is
up.
the most meta episode yet.
I set
Welcome.
up so like watching the debate and then this, and I'm like, what's happening right now? Really?
We've all given up on everything. Given up on America is what we've done.
Oh, I liked America.
No,
Greatest country on earth.
It's not that
I'm
good
not giving
anymore.
up.
It can't be the greatest. It's got to make it great again. It's got to be terrible right now.
We'll be right
No,
back
it's
after the break.
It's so great that it needs to be
Maybe we
doubly
won't.
great. That's what he's.
It needs to be Dub's great.
Dub's great.
Maybe we won't come back after the break.
Oh,
What if we just didn't?
Jesus Christ. He's got full nihilism.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast.
ooh, that was nice. Are you back?
Good.
Yeah.
No,
Jaunty. Oh.
I remembered something that I played yesterday that's actually good.
Ooh.
And that made me happy. And then sad again because I realized that no game like that will ever come to pass.
Okay, go on.
But it is still awesome, and what a great idea for a game. It was called Impossible Creatures.
I believe I remember that.
Our
I'm gonna
game.
I feel like we talked about that on the release list last week.
I find that unlikely considering it's 10 years old.
Yeah, it's an ancient thing. Oh, ancient. 10 years old. 13 years old. Damn.
Yep. So that seems unlikely, but
Oh,
it's a
no.
game. It's
Somebody
a real...
talked about it on the
we
show
def-
before.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
No.
I'm positive.
I can't back you up on
I don't
this.
believe
Anyway,
it.
It's
continue.
new to me.
Continue. I'm sorry.
It's a wonderful real-time strategy by the guys that made Dawn of War and Company of Heroes. And the whole point of it was that you take two animals, mash them together, and that's your unit. And that results in some very interesting little scenarios. You have to build your units out of various different animals, and depending on how powerful the animal is, it depends on kind of... Yeah, people are claiming that I definitely did. I don't care. We'll talk about it again because it's good and everything else is shit, so I'd rather just talk about that.
Oh.
But I played a bit of it again last night and was reminded just how fucking cool an idea it was.
Good
I
times.
made a flying whale that spits acid because you can. It's great. I just wish that there were games like that. I want every game to be like that, where you can combine animals into horrible things. Horrible abominations.
You want the fly video game tie-in. That's what you would like.
Indeed.
Just what
Flying
you think-
beavers. Flying, you can do that. Flying beavers is a unit you can have.
Flying beavers.
None of that
That's a
procedural
video game.
generation shit. No, you generate it. You choose the creatures.
My day, we procedurally generate our own creatures.
Indeed. We had to
Our
make them
own
by
flying
hand.
beaver.
Just imagine what you could do with modern tech with that.
Yeah. But there'd be many, many ridiculously offensive animals.
Penis creatures.
Absolutely. Just giant flying dick creatures.
Everything's just got a giraffe head and you don't want to see what's inside. Yeah.
No.
Hippopotami weens.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a game you should all play because it's great.
Dinosaurs with
It's
penis.
on Steam.
It is. It's on Steam. It is nice, like workshop support and everything.
It's got work. Wow.
Oh, yeah, it's got modern. They updated it. It's got modern support and everything.
Ah.
Best real-time strategy. Only
got
time you'll
modern
ever go and
support and
say fucking beavers are bullshit. OP. Love it.
Every single level's just got like a massive dam that they can chew through and it just floods everything.
Absolutely.
Every time
beavers.
you're like, oh, the beavers are going for the dam.
Beaver's the one hit kill.
You like start making loads of aquatic creatures with legs so you can like do both, and when it becomes like all watery, then you can swim.
Yeah.
I want to play that game now.
Yeah, you should. It's great.
I sold myself on it. I remember the game that I played that was good, sort of.
Really?
Go on.
Oh, I can't remember that. It's Redout. It's on Steam.
Again,
and
it's great.
it's good. Yeah, except it's like a Wipeout sort of thing. It's very much like
Very much
Wipeout.
so, yeah. Uh-huh.
It has VR support.
It does, yes. Definitely
Uh-huh.
not the main selling point of the game, but it does have it.
Yes, it has. So I tried basically Wipeout in VR. So that's like 200 mile per hour loop the loops and air brake turns.
Probably not a great idea.
You know what? It wasn't. Normally, I can take quite a lot of VR. I'm like, I play it a lot, so I'm really used to it. But that, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Just everything. Like the first loop, I was like, what's going on? It's not.
That game's visually almost too much without VR. I can't imagine.
Oh my god, it's just like if you ever want to feel an instant migraine, then that's the game to go for. I like take it off and like vomit just pours out of the vibe. I'm like, I vomited out my eyes. How does that work? It's beautiful. A wonderful experience. I recommend it to you. Yeah, I don't know.
I would not play that in VR, but I would play it outside of VR because it's the.
I'd say play one lap in VR because like I flinched.
Just so you know,
too hard. It's the thing, yeah.
It just has. It's probably the best anti-gravity race on PC. Not that there's that much choice.
It's a really good game.
It's really great.
But I kept putting it in VR because I'm like, oh, it's got VR. I should totally try that again. I bet I just was feeling ill though. I was like, oh!
Wouldn't recommend it.
I would. But just once. Just once.
Only once.
Just so you know you've done it.
Redout, only once.
What's going on in the news this week? There was a trailer for Battlefield 1 single player.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that. I love the Battlefield single players because they're always universally terrible.
Absolutely. They're usually
so
absolute
atrocious.
Dog shit. And I mean, this does not convince me that this will be otherwise. I mean, it's not that it couldn't be good. You know, it seems like a very swashbuckly kind of affair, certainly.
Interesting.
But
not the right time period for swashbuckling. But
not really. No, not
they don't
really.
care about accuracy. It's all on pirate ships. It's really weird.
It could be very, very interesting. I imagine it's not going to be. I imagine there's going to be far too much talking. There's going to be far too much, hey, this is an open battlefield, but really it can only go in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
At least they have the potential for a bunch of different areas, you know? It seems like it would be something of a globetrotter. There's a lot of different battlefields they could have. There's a lot of color in it, especially if you like sand.
Oh my god, in this trailer, a dude gets his head taken off by a plane flying too low and it clips him with the wheel.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
This is concerning.
I am in. I am all in again. Fool me thrice, then I'll just keep going.
It's like, all of this looks incredible, but how it's going to be to play will probably be a bunch of on-rail segments and following people.
Yeah. Because that's what they've always been. And because on launch day, it'll be super buggy. They're always, if you like bugs, a Battlefield game on launch day single player is
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
a wonderful experience. You just walk towards a thing and it's like, I don't want to have shadows anymore. And then like these textures will just vanish. And I've had like the whole sort of like everything just uninstalls around you. You're like, did my hard drive have a stroke? Oh no, it's just.
What just happened?
Yeah. This is what's going on. Like animations miss is one of my favorite things. Oh, I had that. I was recently replaying Saints Row 2 and all the animations were just off. Like sometimes someone's holding a gun but moving, like on a train, the gun would just be like, just like jerk, just vanish off.
There was a
slowly.
wonderful part in either 3 or 4, I think, where you're waiting for your squad to open the door because everyone knows in modern military shooters you can't open your own doors. And they're like, go, go, go. They don't open the door, they just run through it. And the door's still there. It's like, yeah, this...
Isn't it Battlefield that somebody just made a remake of the gameplay trailer, but with bugs in it?
Yes, it was excellent.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of bugs that were in the multiplayer beta was brilliant. To be fair, that's half of the fun when it comes to Battlefield games. What stupid-ass bug can happen? The problem is I've never... Well, I mean, there is no good Battlefield game with a single-player campaign. With the exception of the original Bad Company, which was console only. Bad Company 2's wasn't too bad either. But both of those games were like, we're going to give you a reasonable degree of freedom. Which is what kind of I think it's because the single-player campaign of a Battlefield game encapsulates the polar opposite of what Battlefield is, which is kind of the freedom to do stupid shit. But in these campaigns, it's like everything is super serious, and you have to make sure that you stay on exactly the right track, because otherwise, well, we can't continue the story unless you jump through all these hoops. It's like, well, in the multiplayer campaign, if someone's hiding inside a building, I'd run the building over with a tank and put a fucking hole in it. It's like, no, can't do that. Wait for the RPG. I'll hand you the RPG. You take the shot. It's like, fucking hell. It's just like, you're talking about a game with supposed full destruction of buildings, and the only way I can take down this building is through a scripted event. It's like, yeah, no. It's the polar opposite of what Battlefield has always been for me. I don't even know why they bother including them.
For the single-player people who play in one little demographic and one region that they have to sell X amount of copies to.
They invest such a huge amount of money into something that can usually be done in 3 to 4 hours and is almost universally awful.
So I thought you meant make it in 3 to 4 hours. About 3 to 4 hours to make a standard Battlefield campaign. They really don't put any effort into all anymore.
It's 3 to 4 hours and then like 5 years on the cutscenes. You know.
Yeah. With somebody very famous on, that's where all the money went.
I don't know. That trailer looks great. The gameplay will probably not be.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm finding myself becoming less enthusiastic for Battlefield 1. Especially after playing the beta, far less enthusiastic about it.
I've almost, look, this is going to sound crazy and probably is crazy. I've almost reversed my thoughts between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty.
Yeah, me too.
The more trailers and things I see of Call of Duty, the more I'm like, actually, that looks kind of fucking awesome.
The single player in the latest Call of Duty looks like it's going to be the best one in a long time.
Horror elements, yeah, all of it seems really cool. And I've
actual
kind of
innovations.
reversed where I was. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, I'm always, when I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. And I feel like I goofed on being like, Call of Duty, shit, the new one's going to suck. And I look at it now, I'm like, I might have been wrong about that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when they both come out.
Because it's been in development for 3 years. Is this like the first 3-year one?
Yeah, I think it is.
3-year cycle now. Because Battlefield, when did Hardline come out? Like last year.
Yeah.
Hardline was like
Who remembers that one? Not many.
That was the last one. So that's do they have one?
Talk about a squandered opportunity to have an interesting game. Jesus.
That single player was god awful. It was beautiful. I do have fun to play through and going, look at all the money you wasted.
I mean, COD Infinite Warfare just looks like a really good sci-fi game. It's got space battles in it. It's got space walking in it. It's got what looks to be a fair variety of levels and interesting ideas and mechanics. Cool. All right. Sure, why not? That's fine. Feel like it's just trucking along under the radar. Probably more
I have
interesting
no
than that.
opinions about any shooters.
Nah.
Aw.
Not even Titanfall 2. Aren't they all coming out within a week of each other? Fucking Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, and... God damn it.
I was excited for Titanfall 2, and then the guy kept talking about it and showing off the footage. I'm like, no, you're wrong. He's like, it was too chaotic, so he slowed it down. I'm like, that's the only reason I liked it.
The main problem seems to be with that game, the stuff that people claim to like about it also made it unsuccessful past the first week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the problem. People don't like interesting game modes. I'm sorry. This is the truth. And any game that does this, I will love it because I'm sick of boring-ass game modes, and everyone will leave it after a week. And the game will die. Fucking Battleborn in a nutshell, Super Monday Night Combat in a nutshell, any game that tries to do anything interesting with the standard objective capture formula, people will fucking hate it.
I wish that Titanfall 2 was a good game. Like, I want it to be good so badly.
Me too.
I have zero expectation that it will now. I am fully on, like, it's just going to be what Titanfall 1 was. And it's heartbreaking to me because that's such a cool concept and it deserves to be treated well. And it's just not. It's squandered and it's painful. It's painful to watch happen.
Yeah. But hey, the trailers for literally all of these games are fun. So
Just enjoy good trailers. Yeah, just enjoy trailers more than the games.
good trailer cutting. Editors
Yeah,
killing it.
Good
Hype
job,
for good
editors.
trailers. That's what we want.
Should be paid way more. Good job.
Well, the vocal gaming commentary scene or whatever it is doesn't seem to have a fucking clue what it wants. It complains about Call of Duty being the same every year and yet blasted Infinite Warfare when it was clearly not the same as the previous ones. And then fucking jizzed all over Battlefield 1, which isn't in any way different from the previous Battlefield games. There are way too many fucking automatic weapons. There's way too much run and gun. It's the same shit.
That's the thing. That's what's in right now is taking a game and just putting it in an interesting place, but not changing any of it. Like Far Cry Primal, it's Far Cry, but it's Stone Age. But then why are there eagles and why am I crafting?
You're absolutely right. I think the big thing that Far Cry Primal is a perfect example, but the big thing with Battlefield 1 is everyone when they saw the trailer, the initial reaction was, "Holy shit, this is gonna be totally different."
Yes.
And after playing it, what they got was World War I setting. Everything else is very, very similar, except for
It's basically Battlefield 2, or Battlefield. No, it's kind of like Battlefield 1943. You know, the kind of updated version they did of 1942. It's basically that. You know, the guns might as well be the same weapons. You're running around with light machine guns in a single, you know, firing for the fucking hip, for God's sake.
When I first logged in, I was shocked to see that pretty much every one of the different specs you can be was just like, oh, except for this one guy, everyone's got automated weapons, and I was like,
and they all feel the same. That's the main problem. Like, you should have shitty weapons in that game, like shitty, dodgy, experimental bullshit weapons, and you don't, because people get upset when their fucking bullet hose doesn't put 30 rounds on target 500 meters that way while firing from the hip. It's like, it's inaccurate. It's supposed to be.
You want to fire one shot and then, like,
you want
6 weeks later, you finish reloading. You're like,
you want a
God
fucking
damn it.
accurate weapon? Use a bolt action. Use something like that.
Saying,
But
like,
no.
Where's the bolt action in this game? It was
The sniper class. The marksman is, like, one of the only ones that has one.
Which is nuts.
That's
nuts.
They're too scared to change their standard. The gameplay is very, very similar to the previous Battlefield games. Very similar. You want to complain about fucking innovation in an FPS franchise, you want to be looking squarely at Battlefield, because it hasn't innovated in years. And that's a fucking fact. And just changing the setting does not do the job in this case.
Yep. I'm telling you, that's why I like...
They don't have the balls.
Couple weeks have flipped completely. COD just seems like it's going to be better. I don't know.
Maybe that's what happens when you rotate it through 3 different studios with 3 different ideologies. They try different shit.
Yeah.
And you have 3 years to work on it. So it's just the 1 year that the Battlefront's dealing with, or 1.5 years, wherever it's got.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I would say, God, I wish Verdun had the budget to make it the game it should be. Because that game's fun, and it's a pretty great World War I experience, but not, like, it's very indie, which is unfortunate. Like,
there's also a middle ground. Like, you don't have to go full fucking Rising Storm or full Red Orchestra or anything to make a game that has a feeling of authenticity to it for the time period. And yet, they've gone so far in the other direction that there's no point in it even being set in World War I in the first place. The amount of fucking tanks and vehicles is ridiculous. And explain to me what's different about those tanks versus the ones in Battlefield 1942. Explain to me what's different between this weapon and weapons from 1942 or Vietnam or anything along those lines. There isn't any.
Nothing.
It's just, they tried to find a bunch of guns that... I mean, fucking half the guns weren't even available at that time, for God's sake. And you know what? I'm not really against that, but the reason they put them in was to fill the niches that are expected of a multiplayer FPS, not because they were interesting guns. They literally scrounged up every gun they could find because they needed an arsenal of similar size to Battlefield 4 and to fill the same niches as Battlefield 4 because they're not willing to change their style of gunplay.
I would have loved to have seen, if they're going to have multiple guns, have it be crazy shit that didn't work. Have it be those wacky
That'd be lovely.
things. That would have been
Stupid
awesome.
weapons.
Yeah. And there are so many in World War I. So many. The tanks, you're right. The reason why when I first started playing the BF1 beta, I was just destroying as a tank, because in Battlefield 4, that's literally all I did was drive around in vehicles and kill people, and it felt the exact same way. So I immediately jumped in. I get why they would do that.
Shockingly maneuverable for World War I tanks that moved at about 10 miles an hour and got stuck in fields. You tried to drive a tank in World War I, it was going to get stuck, probably, at some point.
You're done.
It would break down. It would be utter shit. Yeah, sure, it'd be really hard to blow up because no one had encountered them before. It's like, we don't have anti-tank weapons because we didn't have tanks prior to this. So they had to improvise a way to kill them. But thankfully, tanks were their own worst enemy. They broke all the time. Yeah. But we can't have that. We can't have that because people will get upset that their stuff isn't doing what it's supposed to do.
Oh my God, go for it.
Well, worse than that is planes, because planes weren't even really used in World War One. They were never really. They used them for reconnaissance and stuff. They just
primarily,
sort of
yes. They certainly didn't. Bombers were not common. Fighters generally fought other fighters.
World War II. There was no real bombing until World War II. Bombing was just not really a thing that was done.
The bombing in World War One was like dude dropping a thing out of a plane.
They used to lob rocks at each other. They literally would lob rocks and bricks. They would first thing they did, they'd swear at each other as they went past. They were like, but then they were like throwing bricks, and then some people were like, I'm just gonna bring my gun along. And then that was World War One, and then they actually started.
Oh yeah, the co-pilot would often just get their revolver and shoot out of the plane.
Yeah, the reason why like people like the Red Baron and shit are super famous is because there were not a lot of air battles, and most of the air battles that happened were like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. Right?
There was an air battle.
In this
Wow.
game, everyone's just. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Here. We're all having. Oh, look at that.
I would love to see this game, I don't know, just be more accurate, but not like it has to be a strict accuracy sort of way, but like in a way that made you feel like you were there, rather than being like everything is to code and shit. Just it would feel like it. It doesn't feel like you're in World War One. It feels like you're in. I guess maybe that's like an.
It just feels like World War II. Let's call it what it is. It's World War II with slightly goofier looking guns.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know. And that's what I need in a game. I need to feel like what I'm supposed to be there playing. And just I don't know.
Well, Battlefield didn't do that with Hardline. That was supposed to be cops versus robbers, but it was still.
That didn't feel like that
massive
either.
guns,
Unless it was some weird commentary on the militarization of the police in the United States, which I'm fairly sure it was fucking
Which it was not. No,
it was not.
It's like, oh, cool.
It was deep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
dear.
I'm positive that it was super deep. It was talking about society.
Yeah. It's talking about how all of these criminal gangs have private helicopters with fucking miniguns attached to the side of them. The police also have those, don't worry about it. You know, they've got an M134 attached to the side of a police helicopter. So yeah, sure they do. And you know what else they've got? Fucking anti-tank weapons. Lots of But you can get in a car! You can get in a car, guys. That's why the game's completely different. Because you can get in a car instead of a tank.
Oh.
I mean, there's also a bunch of APCs that are basically tanks. But it's fine, you can get in a car.
What a poorly timed game. Like, just what a... Like, they put a lot of time and development in that, and they still should have known, you know what, maybe we shouldn't ever release this thing.
Yeah.
I just think that, upon reflection, my early hype for Battlefield 1 was misplaced, and having seen everything they're doing with the new Call of Duty, it's just like, that looks interesting. That looks like they put some thought into it, and I want to see where that goes.
It's a pasted-on theme, as a term from board games. It's a pasted-on theme. You took the theme, you slapped it on with no consideration as to how it would affect actual gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the reality of it.
We're seeing that a fair bit now. That's the next thing. We've had
I'm not
zombies.
interested
They're
in
gone.
that. I would rather play COD. You know, I'd rather play Infinite Warfare that seems to have embraced its theme, as opposed to Battlefield, which clearly has not.
I mean, that's a common problem with all forms of design, right? Is this idea of, is this choice you're about to make with your final product going to help your goal? Like your initial goal with this product, is it going to assist that, or is it just because you like that, right? Because there's so many times, I think, where game developers play a game and they're like, oh, I love this, and they want to add it into their game, like some kind of a mechanic or some kind of an idea, and it doesn't work. It doesn't aid the project in becoming... It doesn't help with the clarity of what the point is of your game and what you want your game to be. You just like it, you know?
Battlefield games are always Battlefield games first and whatever theme they picked second. Which is why Hardline is not a cops and robbers game and why Battlefield 1 is not a World War I game. And it was fine up to this point because they were just doing, you know, they did like 3 or 4 games of modern. And it's like, right, cool, we get it. But then they did the same thing with 2 other games which should have been completely different.
And let's be clear, Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare could suck. It could be terrible.
Absolutely.
Everything we've seen is level 1,
No doubt.
and then the rest is corridor shooting.
Well, we've actually seen quite a lot. If people actually bothered to check, there's been a significant amount of footage released for that game, and you can quite clearly see that the single-player levels are drastically different in terms of design and flexibility and freedom compared to, this is the fucking series that perfected scripted FPS sequences. That built its reputation on them, and at this point seems to have embraced the idea of multiple approaches. I mean, there's a little bit of Deus Ex tossed in there, for God's sake. There was in Black Ops 3 as well. Taking control of shit and using hacking abilities and all that sort of thing. And not in scripted ways either. Not because the storyline required you to, because you could. Customization of abilities. The ability to go in with a different loadout to a mission and approach it in a totally different way. Reminds me a lot more of the fucking... You remember the Syndicate first-person shooter? That gets unfairly derided because it wasn't Syndicate. And okay, cool, I get you. I would have preferred a new Syndicate game instead of an FPS set in that universe. But the actual gameplay was chock full of innovations. Really interesting ideas. And people just fucking wrote it off. And I feel they're doing the same with Infinite Warfare when actually there's plenty of evidence to suggest that it might do a couple of things differently.
I think it's because it was so different which is bizarre to me because that's what people want. It was so different that people
don't want that. They claim to want that.
That's the thing is people. I think that this is such a condescending. I think it's really condescending when a company says this, but it's true in this situation for sure. That people say that they want something new, but if there isn't enough of what they're used to in it, they'll reject it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's that whole Steve Jobs thing of just people don't know what they want, so just make something and sell it to them. Like, that's pretty much what it is.
Here you go. This is what you want. I promise. Buy now.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to see this game that everyone was like, this is shit, slowly prove itself to be the better product.
Well, we don't know if that's going to be true. Like, we haven't played Infinite Warfare. We have played Battlefield 1, so we do have a basis for comparison there. It's entirely possible that COD could still be wank this year, but I think that the accusations that were made of it were unfair.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And they were a circle jerk, let's be honest. It was a fucking bandwagon to hate on that trailer. It's not because people actually hated it, it's because they wanted to feel like part of a group and part of a little club. It's like, yeah, we're with the rest of them. Yeah, aren't we great? It's not an impressive attitude. And it sends a lot of mixed signals as well. It's like, hey, didn't you guys say for years you wanted something different? And now you're taking the piss out of us? What the fuck? What are we supposed to do? And then Bill's like, oh, well, why did they release the same game? Well, gee, I fucking wonder. Can't imagine why that would be.
Yep. Although some things don't, like Resident Evil 7 is going to be massively doomed to everything else, but it is going to be like PT, which I assume they want more than Resident Evil.
I don't even know how I feel about that shit. Having watched the live playthrough, it is straight up not Resident Evil. I don't know how it relates, which is cool because Resident Evil's gone fucking off the rails lately. At the same time, it is literally everything else in the horror genre that the indie community has been doing for years. So I'm not sure I'm okay with it. Like I don't want another one of those like first person walking through a thing while some creature chases you. Yeah, I don't know that's needed, but whatever. All right, cool. Let's see what it is.
It's got to be better than Resident Evil 6. It's got to like
everything is better than Resident Evil 6. The Dentist is better than Resident Evil 6. Oh my god, that game didn't work. Half the game just didn't work. It was so garbage.
True.
What else is happening in the world?
Nothing. We're going to releases.
Nothing? Oh fuck! All right.
Damn.
You fucked everybody. It's release time.
Yo.
Whoa.
I don't have them. I don't have them.
You didn't have them?
I don't have them.
I've got a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards I just found on my table, so I'll entertain the people with this shiny packet.
Yeah, just wave it around. That should
Are you planning on opening them, or will they stay in there forever as a Schrodinger's cat of Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I will open them.
Are you telling me they may or may not exist? They will only
I
exist
think
upon
that
observation.
I can feel them inside. So
Okay, here we go. Y'all ready?
You're ready for this?
releases of the pack.
Is that the right song?
Y'all ready for this?
I mean, to be fair, they all sounded quite similar.
Wait, you gave me releases for only today and tomorrow.
I got Berry Magician Girl.
I didn't. I sent you releases for multiple days.
Here's
You
the
sent
releases.
me releases for the 20th through the 28th, and it
I
is
have
the
sent you
27th right now.
releases.
This
There
dude
you go.
has knives.
Thank you. Awesome.
No.
All right.
This is
September
like hugging.
27th, aka today, we have Galgun double piece.
Oh god, this thing is this the one where you
That
shoot
looks
people and
cool.
their clothes come off? Like,
Wait, I'm interested.
No, I don't think
Oh,
Galgun was the rub and clothes come off game.
Are you sure?
I'm never sure about
Set
anything.
your
in my
weapons
life.
to ecstasy, perverts. Is
Oh.
I don't believe you.
I hope you're reading something TV. I really do.
I think that you are totally wrong.
It's the rubbing up game.
It is totally the rubbing up game.
Guys,
Damn.
this girl got her stuff stuck in a window. Oh no. She's shaking her butt. What will you
It's time
do?
to embrace
Help
the
her,
weeb,
because it's fucking
apparently.
creepy.
Can we move on?
The next game is called Rogue Wizards, which looks really familiar,
This
and I
looks
don't know if
neat.
we've played. It wasn't this game. This is just similar to another game that TB and I played before.
I know this one was at PAX, and it looks kind of neat. You build your very own wizard tower sanctuary in this roguelike dungeon crawling RPG.
So are you the tower builder?
Well, you built the tower, but I don't know if you build the tower and then attack it yourself. I think that might be the metagame aspect of it between levels. Possibly.
There you
Hard to say.
go. Yeah,
Looks neat.
it looks good. The next game is Lichtspeer, which we
Yes,
talked about
We're
earlier.
familiar with the Lichtspeer.
The game after that is Smash and Grab, which I've watched Sam play a bunch of. It's that game where it's like gang versus gang, and
Okay.
you're trying to wind up with the most money.
That
That
does not
includes-
come up on Steam, so where is that?
It's Smash plus grab.
Smash
Oh,
plus
yeah, just to
grab.
make it awkward, yes. There
Yeah.
we go.
You gain money by breaking into breaking windows and grabbing things out of storefronts and stuff like that, but also bounties on the heads of other gang members.
Okay.
Yeah, it's apparently really fun. I haven't played it though. So yeah, there's that.
Right.
The next one is called BitShift Battle Grid.
You have been injected into the battle grid. Apparently, BitShift is a 4-on-4 multiplayer gaming experience where VR gamers compete directly with desktop gamers to battle and control data from the Anti-Corp, PC versus VR. Ha.
Versus VR? Is there cybers in there?
Don't say
Cybers
that.
is a serious issue in modern
Sounds
America.
like cybers are in there.
It's an interesting idea to pit people that have a VR headset versus those that don't, and I assume be asymmetric in the process. This
I
movement
find,
style may cause discomfort. Yes, indeed, it might.
There's that game where you build like IKEA furniture. You can do it in VR. That's got a co-op mode between the PC and the VR, so somebody can sit at the PC and like play it like the game's intended to be played as, and then whoever has the VR headset on can be like picking the stuff up. But the bad thing about that is that therefore the PC, the person who's sitting on the PC can just lob things in the face of the person who's wearing a VR headset and give them never-ending eternal jump scares.
Great.
As my fiance found out.
No?
Sounds phenomenal. Next.
I'm so sorry.
Next is Office Freakout,
Oh.
which is a first-person game where you're trying to destroy an office.
Another one of
Wow.
these.
So there's that.
A lot of these big
The-
physics destruction games.
Yeah.
Although this one looks like it has a little bit more polish than most. Oh, you have lasers. The zombies for some reason. Okay.
There's always zombies.
Sure. Why not?
The next one is Signal, which we talked about last week or the
Yes, I
week
believe so.
before.
Yeah.
It's on there before. The one,
Kegture VR. How's that?
yeah, is it Segture? Keg? I don't know what it is. It's a VR game though.
I think it's catcher, but with egg in the middle. So
What?
that doesn't make any
How
sense.
did anybody think that made sense?
It didn't. It doesn't. Catch as many eggs as you can in virtual reality. Yay, and so forth. Man, you know
Cool.
it's good when your Steam trailer has a
Sure.
friends notification in it.
Yes.
Next.
Praise. The next game is called Measurement Problem. It's a first-person puzzle game with a bunch of keys
Narratively
and
driven
stuff.
first-person puzzle game.
The game after that is called Astroflux.
I feel like I've heard of this for some reason. It's free to play. No, I have not. Retro-style action-packed MMO shooter, whatever that is. Yeah. Right, so it's a 2D multiplayer
Base shooter.
thingy.
Ooh.
Yep, with a tiny, tiny ship. I can't see that ship. That is far too small.
Ah, it's so small.
Oh shit! The next game is called Earthlock Festival of Magic. Sam and I talked with
That's
the
out
devs
right now. Yeah.
for this game. Yeah, it's got like a big crafting element to it. So you always have one of these pictures shows like a little garden, and you use the garden to like create stuff. But this game looked so pretty, like just really, really pretty. It's an RPG. I really wanted to play this, so probably
At PAX, you saw it at
Yeah.
PAX
yeah,
on the 6th floor.
yeah.
Remember when you replaced me with Sam in your
Oh shit! I'm sorry, Jesse.
story of my
Jesse,
life?
I
There you no, there you go. There you go, internet, Reddit. There you go. It's all proof of my ongoing jealousy of Dodge's life.
I'm sorry.
Tears, just tears. I've been replaced, guys. I've been replaced in her memory and in her heart. It's over.
I'm sorry, Jesse.
No, and scene.
And
Very good. Very good.
Next.
next is called City VR.
It's getting to the point where anything with VR in the title is not something that I'm interested in. Mostly because it's not that, VR experience is necessarily bad. It's just if you have to tack VR onto it, that probably means that's the only selling point. Oh, you get to experience San Francisco. I wonder if they simulated the pretentiousness.
Ooh.
And the homelessness.
You
And the
experienced
bears.
as a giant, not as a normal person, but as a giant.
You teleport around and take photos of your favorite monuments in San Francisco,
That is
apparently.
horrifying.
Yes, that doesn't look...
I like how flat and squished the cars look in all the pictures. That makes you. That's just Google Maps that's been mapped to 3D. And
I
then
mean,
sold.
everybody knows that San Francisco is a very hard place to travel to, so, having a VR experience because only the privileged few can enter that city.
The next game is called Space Journey. It's an open world space exploration game in early access.
Right. That always inspires enthusiasm. Explore different planets, fly spaceships, drive land vehicles, robots, and more. Yeah, but what else?
Yeah, but what is this game?
Well, the video has a frame rate counter in it. That's always good. It's not maintaining 60. So you walk, and you get in vehicles, and you... Ugh.
Yes,
And
go
you-
on.
Well, you drive,
So it's some sort of space
And-
journey.
and then what? What do you do now? He's driving over nothing. He's still driving. This is your trailer. And he's walking again.
Are
He
you
is
watching a
walking.
No Man's Sky trailer?
There's a lot of walking going on.
I think
No.
he's watching No Man's Sky.
No, this looks honest. It
Oh,
shouldn't have
shit.
been. It was a horrible mistake. That's a lot of walking. Cool. I'm not enthused.
Well,
Next.
Maybe the next game will soften your heart. It's called Battles of Norgan.
I can't even fucking spell it.
Norghan. I'm just gonna let you look at it.
Oh, it's a unique gladiatorial management and strategy game. Equip fantasy gladiators. Use them in tactical turn-based grid combat. So it is an SRPG tactics game of sorts. That is, well,
It
the
looks
trailer
very
is.
old.
It does. It's not, but it does look that way. Yes. It looks like an old Windows 95 game. There are a lot of retro tactics games at this point on Steam. This one does not look particularly inspired. So no, this has not melted my heart. You were lying.
I know.
Or you don't know me as well as you think you do.
The next game is called Legends of Time, and it's a multiplayer hack and slash game where you run around killing people in a 3D world.
That's a procedurally generated title. That Legends of Time.
Oh, where they just three random words with something
Yeah.
of something.
Just take some words, put of in the middle.
Noun of noun. It's
Next game-
The gameplay trailer has no gameplay in it, so that's great.
Oh, good.
It's like we can render a world in Unity. Cool. Where's the gameplay? There fucking isn't any. Next.
The next game is called Lost in Woods 2.
Lost in Woods 2 should have brought a map this time.
I took advice, and I shouldn't have. from the social media that said, we want to see the games. This is a video podcast. I want to see the games release section. Now you realize why we don't show them to you. Because this is, look at all these trailers. Look at how terrible these all are. Do you want to see these? No. Where am I? Asks person in Lost in Woods 2. Let's skip forward and see if it demonstrates how the game is played. Get resources. Thank fuck. A game that finally allows you to gather resources. Obtain food and water. This looks incredible. Look at that view distance. Look at the rendering techniques on display. We save you from this stuff. On a weekly basis, we protect you. Create and develop.
No,
Develop
everybody's
does
loving
not
it. They
have
love it.
an extra E in it. There's no
They love
develop
it.
at the end of it. P.
love it.
Fucking, it ends on a P. Develop. Develop is like a fucking rabbit. It's a breed of rabbit. The develop.
Oh my
Be
God.
engaged in
Oh my God.
farming and fishery. I'm
Why
not
does it
engaged
not
by
have draw
that.
distance? Why does it not have a draw distance? Like
It has no draw distance. That
There's
is
a
the
fucking
worst
wall.
horizon system I've
Oh
ever
my
seen.
God.
It's the curvature of the Earth. It's realism.
It's
Then
in
why are the
Russian.
trees being eaten by it?
The trailer's in Russian. Next.
TV, this next one is actually gonna soften your heart. I'm
Oh,
sure of
for
it this time. I
sake.
promise. It's called The End of Tomorrow, and the description is
Blank
to
and blank.
start, choose your language and level of difficulty using the Vive controller. Direct it to enter virtual reality, and then hard pull the Vive trigger button twice. The game will start when the visuals start. In the game, you need to know.
Press the grip to hold. End of description.
What the fuck is this game about? I don't know.
Let's
got-
look at the trailer. It's 8 minutes long. I'm sure
Oh.
it will demonstrate.
God, I'm going to be playing this by the end of the week, aren't I?
Well, there's a
There are
robot
5
and there's
trailers. There are
there's a
5
zombie
trailers for it.
outside.
It's
There are
going into
5.
early access. I see
Oh my
a hot
God.
robot man's crotch in one shot, so there's
This
that.
is like in 5 FPS.
It's
What
the
is
revival
happening?
of Area 51, the light gun game. Holy shit. VR has saved us from that gaming purgatory that we were rapidly finding ourselves within. Thank God.
All right.
Future.
Oh Lord.
It's still going. At least it shows us what the gameplay is. Absolute tat. Next.
The next game. The
oh
next
my
game's
God.
called- Next game's called Make America Great Again.
Yo!
Oh, God.
Yo! $2.99 can do it. You can do it. Get the fuck out. This game is so dumb.
Use impact font to save the universe. It has QTEs in it. Manage world anger. Yes, that would probably happen.
Guys,
He has to manage his own.
guys, one,
He has the best temperament, don't you know? Unlock gear. Yes.
a national party presidential candidate is being used as a joke to sell a video game. I can't. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. He's shooting people out of a helicopter. I can't. I just can't anymore. I can't.
Oh my God, I want to play that but with Clinton's policies and see what happens.
Next.
Liberal
Lord.
detected. The game just
Steam is fucking shit. Next.
The next game is called Dino Adventure, where you're like a little dinosaur.
Experience an exhilarating new sense of
Are we
fun.
all beige at this point? That's it. We've all just given up on
Help
video
Dino
games.
to
Give
look
it
for
up.
their
That's the
children
concept.
because he's an irresponsible parent and couldn't keep track of them. Next. Oh
the
my
next
God.
game- The next game is called Spa Mania 2. It's basically
course it
Sally
is.
Salon, except knockoff Sally Salon.
Yes,
Spa Mania.
the first word that I look for when thinking of spa is mania. Those are the two things that I associate together.
I thought you said Spawn Mania, and I was like,
Next.
fucking Spawn game?
The next game in all caps is My Fight.
Oh God, this is the blogger brawling game from Russia, isn't it? Yeah, this was in the release this last week. Next.
My Fight. The next game is called.
What?
It's called.
Where did that come from?
Cluster Truck's
Truck-
amazing!
That might actually not suck.
That's amazing.
It's
I've been
basically
playing
a
it all
floorless
week.
lava game with a lot of trucks in it.
It's amazing, and you get loads of abilities and stuff. It's so good.
It's jumping.
I forgot I was playing that. It's so good.
It's platforming, but
It's so much more than just platforming because you get like grappling hooks, the ability to like slow down time. And,
this
like,
actually
massive
looks
leaps and stuff.
good. Thank
It's
God.
really good fun. It's really good fun.
Gaming is saved. Next.
Next one's called Stash No Loot Left Behind.
It's an
It says
MMO.
It's a turn-based MMO.
Sure.
How the fuck does that work?
Customizable housing,
You gotta wait
tabletop art
6
style, more
hours
than you
for
can
it to
fit
be
a portable
your turn
hole.
again.
Of course, it's early access.
You get an email saying it's your turn.
You get an email and everyone's there going, God, the guy's got to answer his email, otherwise he's just going to be sitting there. It's his turn.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how it's played.
Next is called 5 Champions of Canaan. In a region on the brink of endless war, tradition. Tradition, choose the weapon you wield. Tradition chose the weapon you wield. I can
Of
read.
course it did, yes.
And your sworn allegiance compels you to fight. Is this an arena game?
There's been a few of these. Like, there was
Action
one called,
RPG, it says in the tags.
half the trailer is the logo slowly burning. I love it. Equip Dudes seems like a action RPG of sorts. Actually doesn't look too bad. It looks
Does
very
it feature the
Titan
band
questy.
5? I like the band 5.
It
Slam
had
Dunk,
nothing
Funk
to
and
do
all
with
that.
5.
Oh.
No.
The funk?
Yeah, play the various members of the famous boy band 5 as they fight through mythical
Famous
Greece.
boy band?
Yeah, famous boy bands?
I mean, I feel like 5
Boy
was a
band.
UK thing.
Yeah.
The actual
Okay.
like combat and abilities don't look too bad in this. I'm going to be honest. It is $4, which makes me somewhat suspicious of it, but
It
So,
should be $5. Stick with the brand, guys. Come on.
it's 20% off. That's why.
Ah, well done.
the next game looks so fun to me. It's called
Okay.
Security Hole. It's cyberpunk themed, but it's like a spatial thinking puzzle game.
Oh, thinking. Yay, that's what we want to do with video games.
It looks awesome. Oh, look at the pictures. It looks
Come
great.
on, thinking.
It's like
Fuck
spatial
thinking.
puzzles. That looks so fun.
Fuck thinking.
That guy's using a laptop in the rain. That's going to break.
Stop thinking about it. You hate thinking.
Yeah, stop think shaming him.
He obviously wasn't thinking when he decided to use a laptop on a fucking roof in the rain like an idiot.
Maybe it's waterproof. It's the future.
It's fucking, it'll underclock. It won't run at full clock speed if you don't plug it in, you idiot. Jesus. What's the sniping shit going on? I'm trying to figure out what exactly. Yeah, it's a spatial puzzle with cyberpunk. It does actually look pretty neat, as much as
It
I'm
does,
joking
thank
around.
you.
He's using an iMac. Fuck that guy. No real hackers use iMacs.
All those 400-pound hackers.
Cybering their way.
I feel like insulting your own voter base isn't a very good idea in that regard. But next.
Next is Twisty's Asylum
Oh,
Escapades, which
Jesus God.
I feel like we can just move past it.
Yeah, the low. Oh. Kill me. Fuck
Well,
this.
It's been
Next.
fun. It's been
Next.
fun.
Next is called Ortis Arena. It is a turn-based strategy game, it looks like.
You
Kind of
have,
a hex
you have to
based.
control with an E 5 energy wells on the board. It's a sort of art style wise was kind of neat, sort of board
Yeah.
game-esque kind of thing by the looks of it.
Oh my god, the next game is called Princess Maker 2 Refine.
I remember the first one of this being relatively popular, actually.
I do too, but I don't think I ever played it. I think I bought it and never
It's a
played
life
it.
sim where you play the father of a young girl and raise them to be a princess.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember if it was a kind of a safe for work game or not. I assume
Wait.
it is, if it's coming on Steam.
Ooh, frantic typing.
The original Princess Maker is like super old, right?
Yeah, it is. Very old.
Oh my god. Wait.
Yeah, so
yes.
It is,
Wikipedia.
yeah, it's one of those sort of life sim stat management games. It would be up your alley if I recall correctly.
Princess Maker came out in 1991.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, I'm remembering this game now.
About
Princess
time
Maker
we
2.
Yeah, that's up your alley, definitely.
It's apparently been out for it's like a port.
Yeah,
for the-
it's a
it was for the
translation. I
Sega
thought it was
Saturn.
Japanese only, right?
It's the
Fuck it. Oh,
refined.
yeah, it's on the
book.
Saturn. Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a game from 1993 that's getting put onto Steam.
Yeah. Sure.
So there's that.
I mean, it certainly looks it, but
Next up is called God of Word.
it's a typing game, basically.
Great.
God of Word.
God of
Dun, and XTL.
Lots of typing games coming out lately.
There's been a few, yeah.
I'm cool with it. The next game is called Just Hero.
Incidentally, there's only one good typing game, and it's Typing of the Dead Overkill, and it's fucking brilliant. If you haven't
System
played Typing of the Dead
tunnels
Overkill, go and play it. It's the best B-movie nonsense you'll see
Typing
ever.
of the dead. It's great.
Typing of the dead, overkill. That's what it sounds like. It's great.
The music's
This,
great.
on the other hand, looks like hot garbage. Next,
Great. Next is called Osiris New Dawn.
Osiris New Dawn.
It's an early access
Ooh.
game.
Course
You
it
crash
is.
land on a distant planet and build a colony with your friends.
Yeah, because all those games work out great. Yeah, the original video looking awesome. Look at all these wonderful places. Ooh, look at this. I bet the screenshots involve a lot of running and using a multi-tool to slowly build things. Oh, look, I'm
on.
totally fucking right.
There's
Yay.
a gardening screenshot, to be fair.
There is gardening. There is a gardening system.
Can we
in
light
this
the
game.
bushes? Then I'm in.
There's a mech in it. I mean, these are all games that look like they'll be great in 3 years, but I have no intention of playing right now because they're far too ambitious.
Cool.
Yeah.
So next is called Torch Cave 2.
Another adventure of Mr.
Torch
Bravado.
Cave? Sure,
Torch
whatever.
I mean,
No one
that's
cares
a
about
very
anything.
descriptive. That's a very descriptive game name. That's
I guess so. You're in a cave, and I bet there are torches
it's
sometimes.
the second one.
It's the
There's
second one.
Yeah, that feels like honesty in advertising. It's
Yeah.
a platformer. You're in a cave. You got torches.
Yeah, but what kind of torches? Like the flamey holdy ones? or the
Flamey
kind of
holdy ones.
flashbang
And he has a trilby. No, it's a fedora. I'm not sure what that is. It's a hat of some description.
Oh my god. Well, the game after that is called Dungeatress. And I don't know.
It's early access, which sucks, but it is a game in a roguelike genre, yay, with an original system of building a level and elements of a card game. You build the level as you go, and you play cards to do
Maybe
it.
it's like Guild of Dungeoneering style?
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. Only
There's
it seems
new
like
Guild
it's
of
in real
Engineering
time.
stuff coming out soon.
I know, yeah.
This actually looks like it could be good. It's obviously like early access, so it seems like it needs a lot of work, but I like this idea of sort of, yeah, it's turn-based. You sort of build the dungeon as you go, and you play cards to do it. So, yeah, I can see this having some potential.
Cool. On September 29th, we have Graven, the Purple Moon Prophecy.
Wow, I totally
Get
fucked up
fucked.
typing that in every way. It's amazing. It is I mean, it looks kind of like a hidden object game. It
Sounds
is. Yep, it's a hidden object
Oh,
game.
yes.
Yes.
This game looks fun. It's called Hardware Engineering, and it's literally like a hardware engineering tutorial game.
The
What kind of
UI,
hardware?
man, it looks like it was made by crazy people.
I want to play it.
It's
Teach me
hideous.
everything. Oh, it looks
Hideous.
so fun.
God, hire a
next
UI
up-
designer, please.
Next up is called Bloody Walls.
It's
Cool.
free to play. And it certainly looks it. It looks like a Game Boy game. Yeah, it's but the blood is not in the Game Boy greeny color. So it's Game Boy Green plus that sort of side-scrolling looking game.
Is it at least on the walls?
Oh,
It
there's
is
a
on
lot
the
of blood on
walls.
these walls. A lot of blood on the walls. It is
Good.
definitely not lying.
Yeah.
Next.
Next up is another game that looks super fun to me, Serial Cleaner, where you're like a mob cleaner. Like you're supposed to make it so that it looks like a murder
Oh
never
my
existed.
god. Oh my god. This trailer. Wow. That is so cool. The art
Yes.
style for this is incredible.
Looks awesome. Yeah.
Oh, this looks really cool. Yeah, you have to avoid the cops and clear up the evidence in the process. I love the aesthetic of this.
Yeah, me
Look at
too.
it.
I'm super into it.
Yeah.
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 Murders.
I found something I'm interested in a list of shit. Let me
And
have
it's
this one.
beige. It's all beige.
It's not all beige.
It's
Some of it
literally
is.
beige.
There's a lot of beige. I'll
Literally
give you
beige.
that. There's a decent amount of beige involved, but there are
That's what
other
you're
colors
into.
too. It's pastel, damn it, pastel.
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 Cool. That game looks awesome. The next game is called Rogue Operatives.
This probably isn't.
Multiplayer hide and seek timer-based round game. Is exactly what it says word for
I don't
word.
think you should describe your game as hide and seek. Honestly, that's
It's a hide and seek game.
yeah.
Like Amnesia.
But you've got guns. How is it a hide and seek game
It's
then?
hide and seek in America.
I don't understand what this is. It's like
We don't
it's
have
describing as a
guns.
hide and seek
You
game, but
know
you
the
very
difference.
clearly have guns, which tends to ruin the effect. Next.
Next game's called Wuppo.
It has
Looks
a demo.
cute. Yeah, it has a demo if you want to try it, and it's a game where you're like a little puffball, and you're just working your way through life.
Enter the wondrous world of Whoopo.
Downtown.
Fight numerous enemies. Collect countless items. Countless.
4.
He's so cute.
Next
Okay.
up is called Blue Effect. It's a
VR.
VR
Don't
game.
miss the VR bit.
A horror survival FPS
Oh,
VR
God.
game.
Yeah.
It will thrill you with excitement.
You don't need to put FPS in VR, do you? It's kind of implied, I would have said.
A lot of it is. It's early
There are
access because
robot spiders coming at you.
Oh, that's the worst kind of spiders.
I know. The next game
There's
is
a lot of
Quantum
those.
Break.
Yeah, a Quantum Break coming to Steam and I believe non-Windows 10 systems, which is good.
Yay!
So I'll play it now.
Okay.
I'll play it now.
I'll
I haven't
play
played it yet because I couldn't be asked to play it on Windows 10, but I'll play it now.
Burly Men at Sea,
Burly Men at Sea!
which
Yay.
is just so cute looking. It's a little indie adventure game.
A trio
I
of
want it.
large bearded fishermen step away from the ordinary to seek adventure in 20th century Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Looks so cute.
wonderful.
They gave out temporary tattoos. It was awesome.
Yep, I have code for that. I look forward to playing Burly Men at Sea.
I want a code. Give me a
I
code.
might have spares.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Oh, they're burly. Ooh,
What's
They
the
are
next
so
one?
burly.
they are very burly.
Next is Slayer Shock.
Slayer Shock.
Layer shock. Yeah.
You know, this actually has some like credibility behind it in terms of the devs. Like a guy that made Eldritch and a guy that made Super Win the game, which wasn't terrible. I mean, this looks like a Unity asset flip game, but I may be like it's maybe deceiving. I just like there's a thing that said loot. He opened a chest that was just fire, nothing but fire in it. It's like great.
He's visited Fireworld, the latest and greatest theme park.
I'm going to make Fireworld. That's going to happen. Everyone's going to burn in righteous fire, and they're going to love it. Assemble a team, hunt the vampire, save your hometown. Yeah, I mean, considering the devs behind it, this is probably a lot better than it looks, but this trailer definitely does not sell me on it, I have to say.
Unity is an art style now.
It's horrible.
The next one is something that I feel like
That's
TV
not a
will
game.
use. Yeah, it's Seymour
VR
VR
cinema.
cinema. It's just where you put on your.
It's really the only reason I use VR these days. Fucking, like, weird cinemas in strange places. It's awesome. Trust me. Next.
After that, we've got Merger 3D.
I doubt that's a game. But it is. And so somehow.
I haven't had a game but 3D in the title for a while.
So they tried to make an old school shooter, but they made it look not shit. This looks kind of neat. This is very, very Blood, very original Rise of the Triad. And actually looks like they may have got the point of that. You know, I played a game called Intrude a few weeks ago that clearly did not get the point. This looks like it might have had the point. That actually looks quite playable. Neat.
This next game is called Giant Machines 2017, where you take control of giant machines. And
Oh, it's a
destroy or
simulator
build
game.
Things.
Can you play Bagger 219? Bagger 219. No? No Bagger 219? No. You can't play Bagger 219. Oh, you can. Can you play Bagger 219?
I
Is
don't
Bagger
fucking
219
know.
in this game?
I don't know.
Bagger
Yes.
219's in the game.
Yes.
It's in it. It's in the feature list. You can play Bagger 219. Who's come to save us. You don't even know what that is, do you?
You think?
What gave it away?
Was it me doing this? that
I mean, it
gave
had
away
some.
and I had no idea what was going on.
I can't remember if it was actually Bagger 219 or 218. It's the same thing. Extreme mining. Yeah.
All right, next is called Hybrid Wars.
Oh, that's when like fancy cars just smash into each other.
That's published by Wargame Labs, as in the World of Tanks guys. Futuristic top-down mech shooter. Command and upgrade an arsenal of futuristic mechs. Shoot things. Looks like Desert Strike with mechs, which is not a bad thing necessarily. The mechs are too small. They're like anime mechs, not real ones. Real men's mechs. Nice, bulky,
Fuck
fat
anime
mechs.
mechs.
Fuck anime
Yo,
mecha.
anime next.
They made mechs weird. This doesn't look too bad, actually. Generic as fuck, but
Ah,
Why? TV, why don't you like me?
I don't like anything.
baby.
Next.
this episode's ended already. Like we faded to black like
so
15
sad.
minutes ago.
Why?
So sad. Next.
Next is called Laser Disco Defenders.
Self-inflicted bullet hell. How is it self-inflicted?
Because you are choosing to play it. I don't know.
Fair. Okay, next.
Next is called Armies of Riddle CCG Fantasy Battle Card Game.
The fuck?
If that isn't a mobile port, I don't know what is. With a
Armies
title
of
like
Riddle.
that, I'm surprised it doesn't have a screaming man on the cover. Wow. Okay,
There is
so
a screaming man.
I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this. If your top review that you chose to publish on the box is 6.7 out of 10 by Trading Card Games, there may be a problem here. 6.7?
It's only 0.3 below the average.
That's the
should
one you
buy it.
chose? Oh no! Oh, art style wise, this looks like it was. I don't know what it was made in, but I don't like it. No. Next.
Click and
All
play,
right.
I think.
Moving on to September 30th. I'm going to try to
We missed
go.
Aros One Warrior
Oh my
Chronicle,
god.
which is an
Aros
adventure
One
VR
Warrior
game where you
Chronicle.
shoot big
There's
guns
dragons
and
in
ride
it.
dragons. Next.
Great. September 30th, we have Battle Time.
We're going to finish it on this day because I am just tired of this. This is just making me horribly upset. Take a role of a true general of a real army. Join the battle, capture enemy castles, raise the power of your army, lead the clan to victory. What do you fucking do? I don't know because these are all mobile screenshots, but I have to say, like, the art style looks kind of neat. Reminds me of Endless Legend. But I think what it actually is one of those Galcon node-based strategy games where you just throw a horde of people at a node and take it over through numbers!
Great. The next game is called Illumine, and I don't fucking know. It's a roguelike game where you light up the area. It says, explore a world created on the fly by your actions and wonder about your purpose.
That's my day-to-day life. I don't want that. I don't need
All
to
right,
simulate that.
the next game is called Galaxy Combat War Games.
Head-to-head PvP space shooter thingy. Looks hideous. Next.
Particle Fleet Emergence. Build and design your own fleet. Stand
Okay.
opposed to the particulate.
The
In a-
particulate.
Oh
That is the least
Hybrid.
intimidating antagonist that I've ever heard.
my god, we have to stand against the particulate, you guys.
Particulate.
He's very picky.
This is so
Very-
depressing that all of the
very
webcams died 30 minutes ago.
Well,
I actually
I
realized I
did my
forgot.
Gundam goof, and everybody was like, "What did Dodger do?"
I actually completely forgot to put the webcams in this overlay.
yeah,
Oh my god, we genuinely did fade to back. I was right. We
I
faded.
just didn't care
we've been like this for all of releases.
for 20 minutes.
I figured it was because TV was just done with us. The next game is called
This is what happens
Dungeons
when you
and-
ask for things. I fuck it up.
The next game is called Dungeons and Darkness.
That's where we are right now.
That's the state of my mind. It's a dungeon of darkness. I can't even find it. There's too many games with dungeons in it.
Oh my god.
Then
No,
fuck it. We're moving on.
you don't get any promotion. Find a better name. Next.
Next is called Hebereki March Red Army Girls Brigade.
This is anime bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, about the Soviet Union.
Of course it is. Gotta fill every fetish.
Oh lord. The next game is called Salmon Ninja.
This is all in Japanese. It doesn't even support English language. Why is this even here? Fucking Avatar's a rabbit with a Soviet star on its head. The hell's happened to video games?
Oh my god.
Jesus. The next one called fucking Salmon Ninja. Why the fuck does anyone expect this fucking medium to be taken seriously after this? Look at this shit. There's a bunch of random colors.
Oh my god, I'm
not
playing
even
an
a
article.
single
It's
salmon in
written
it.
right now.
There's no salmon in this whole fucking thing.
PC Gaming's #1 critic goes on rant. Games all suck.
Video games are terrible. This is fucking Meat Boy with the word salmon in the title.
Look, TB, this is your show. If you want to just be done
No!
with releases and be like, that's all the games.
We have to
Games
find
are
a
over,
good
it's all
video
dead.
game.
We're done.
There's gotta be one of them somewhere.
Just end it there.
In this list, there's gotta be something. Please, next
There
one,
was
Neon
Serial
Ultra.
Cleaner.
No,
All right,
that's probably going to be terrible. It's probably going to let us down like everything ever does.
It's an arcade shooter. It was pretty cool. We played it. The next game is called 28 Waves Later, which I think we've talked about like 8 fucking
my
Yeah, it's
God.
fucking
times in this show.
asteroids. Cool, next.
The next game is Beyond Power VR.
Yeah, it's got the word VR in it. Awesome. Looks like it was made in 1992. It's in 4:3 aspect ratio. Look at this shit. Oh, God.
Next game is called
Battling
Fall of
giant
Freya.
screenshots. Next.
Fall of Freya.
My cat's called Freya. I wouldn't name a game after that ever. Of course, it's a survival shooter because every shoot. What the fuck is a survival shooter? Every shooter's about surviving. You fucking dingbats. Why even include that? Is that a genre
Dingbats.
descriptor?
Oh
No,
my
it's
God,
not.
Let's bring it back.
No, it isn't.
The next game is called Desperate Times, and it's
Yeah,
a
that's what we're in right now. There's no good video games, and this is not changing that. It's a fucking pile of bullet pixels.
He clicks on the link and it's just a link to the podcast.
It's just unfathomable curtains of bullets, which is what I wish I was
fuck.
being fucking.
Are you guys ready to
Put
bring
under
this
right
up to
now.
11? The next game is called Vox Red, and it's a game where the only color is red, and it's voxels.
Yeah, sure it is. It's white and red voxels, and one of the only screenshot is you died. Great. Look at this. This screenshot is just words. Nothing but words everywhere. Pile of words. Next.
Angels and Demigods is the
Angels
next game.
and it's angels and demigods. That doesn't seem like a fair fight, does it? It's like you'd think that one of them would have the advantage in that scenario. Can I find it? Oh, great, anime, awesome. Because we need
it's
more.
VR too.
Oh god, it's the VR
VR
weird ass animation. We saw this last week. It looked terrible then. It looks terrible now. Next.
Pitchfork is the next game, and it looks awesome.
I certainly hope you're right, but I bet you're not. Oh Jesus, it isn't.
I just like make hope a little bit.
Walk through Corn Simulator
fall
in
is
early
harder.
access.
Don't raise the hope. When you drop it, everything just feels worse.
I'm providing this game in early access because I'm looking for user input on the graphics. They're shit. Next.
All right, next is called Zombie Defense.
Of course it's free to play because no one would pay for something that generic. Holy fuck. Next.
Next is called Xenoraid with an X.
Yay, aliens. Let's use the word Xeno because it makes it sound like it's not fucking aliens. Intense vertical shooting action. We don't have thousands of those, do we? Next.
Next is called Caravan.
Caravan, yes. Can I just get in one, sell my house, and leave society? It's a game about fucking camels. Look at this thing.
God.
Like, half the screenshots are you leading camels slowly across a desert to their inevitable death by dehydration. Next.
The next game is called Masquerada Songs and Shadows, which is actually a very good game. I've played the demo 2 different times over the last couple of years, and it's great.
It actually looks brilliant.
The next game is called Aqua Nimble.
The curse has been broken. I'll give it that. I do want to play Masquerada. That looks great. It's okay, because we're back to
Bro.
pretty
Stop the train,
uninteresting
everybody.
shooters.
Everybody, we stopped the train.
Oh god.
We got cybernetic shots because we're hilarious. Next.
It's shit.
It's Escape from Zellman Orbital. It is a VR game
Of course it is.
where you're escaping the room. It's an escape the room game.
Is this a simulator of what blindness feels like? Jesus,
Yes.
look at this thing. Can you escape the station in time? I don't want to. I have no desire to at this point. Can you
How
escape
the
this horrible
fuck?
trailer?
How the fuck does Kaboom get on this fucking list every
I don't know. Next.
I can't.
They keep
Done.
pushing it back for free promotion. Next.
Friday Night Bullet is the next game.
Oh, great. A game about shooting things. Oh, jeez. Look at this thing. Ugh.
Next is called Soldiers of Heaven VR.
Why does Heaven need soldiers? And why is it in VR? Armed with a virtual camera, you'll film your own 360-degree version of the story.
That sounds amazing.
How? Why is
Just want to meet
one of the
Jesus,
screenshots is just a person, like a real person.
Yeah, maybe it's like that Jesus, because there's some like film directors doing a VR version of the story of Jesus. Maybe it's like that. You get to be there and watch Jesus
Could
go
be.
like
I don't
nailed
know.
to the cross, etc.
I don't know.
The next game is called Hyper Gods.
They're what you're battling. That's
That's
what the
an
angels are
amazing
used to
name
battle.
for
They're
a
all
game.
connected. They're all in the same unit.
This is all one game.
It's a shooter. It's in early access. It's 2D by the looks of it. The
Great.
video won't skip forward. Here are the screenshots. I can't tell what the hell's going on. What is this? It's a pile of ice. Next,
Next, it's called Clash.
Clash. It's $50. The logo certainly makes it look worth that. Wow, it's they made Haze, but in 1992 in third person, by the looks of it. That's $50.
The last game is a package of a bunch of games from 2002 and 2005. They're all the hacker games. It's 4 different games all put together where you pretend to be a hacker. Great, we did it.
Yes!
The rest of the games, if you guys want to look them up, are called Recurse, Streamline, Egg K47, Carton, Disturbed, Final Days, Maximum Archery, The Game, and Helmet Heroes. Awesome.
Helmet Heroes.
I see the argument towards removing this section from the show.
It could be worse. Like there was a stat that came out today that like 60,000 games are released on iOS every month. So you could try and cover those.
Jesus fuck.
It's only like 15,000 an episode. Good luck.
Be sure to tune into my new podcast, everybody.
Video games.
Called The Mobile Minute. I couldn't come up with a name.
Mobile Minute. Yeah.
I fucked it up, okay, guys? Shit, let's move on.
It's not like the rest of the show hasn't been that. Don't worry about
it. Jesse's just having a bit of a
Wait, me too. Hold on.
Oh, guys, I don't have it.
I have to start the zip. Wait. Me. No!
Quite finished.
There we go. Yeah!
Her hoodie's in early access. It'll be fixed for final release.
Look, I'm still working the kinks out. Anywho, bye everybody. Thanks for watching our show. You've all been lovely. Dan, our special guest, would love to tell you about all the shit he does. Dan.
I don't even know anymore.
Dan, what shit do you do?
Oh, this week I'm starting up Prison Architects thing, and I've played a farm simulator, and it was dreadful, but I sung along to songs that are on the radio. It was fun. Actually, I made up songs that are on the radio. It plays music, but only when you're inside the tractor. So as soon as you get out of the tractor, the music just stops dead. And then when you're in it, it's playing really just random generic country music. So I made up a few country songs while farming. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes. So, and then I throw myself off a cliff. It's beautiful. It's a perfect farming game.
It sounds like it.
And I have literally no other plans for the thing because I'm miles behind on everything.
Excellent. Jesse, what are you doing? What shit are you doing right now?
You know what I'm doing? I'm
What?
celebrating a fun time with friends is what I'm doing. And
When did that happen?
how much
Yeah.
I love hanging out with you guys. That's
I
what
don't
I'm doing.
recall it happening recently.
On this very special episode of the
I
Corp
gotta
Show
be honest,
podcast.
Jesse, I haven't had fun in your presence in years. No, Jesse, come back!
I'm the third host! Yay!
Jesse, no! Jesse!
The most exciting thing that happened to me in the last few weeks is I got a new fucking belt. It's a better
Oh my
belt
God.
than regular belts. You don't understand
Bye,
how good this
everybody.
belt is.
Thanks for watching the
It
show.
only goes one way. Like you can undo the catch and it'll release, so you can go to the toilet, nice and easy. Take your trousers off. You need to put them back
is
on. Pull them
happening?
up. What do? You just pull on the belt, and it automatically locks in place to the exact measurements you need. It's an amazing belt. It's called the Express Line belt. It's the most exciting thing
Sounds good.
that I've. I
Is this
also
the
ordered
next
some
week?
aromatherapy oils. I got
Ah.
8 different kinds.
Nice.
There's
What ones?
eucalyptus, there's orange, lemongrass,
Whoa.
yep, lavender's in there as well,
Oh, lavender's
Yeah.
nice.
cinnamon,
Sure.
apple, fresh grass,
Uh-huh.
and one other that I can't remember,
Oh.
but it is in there. I know it wasn't a
Was
priority.
it a
to order that
mango?
one.
Was it mango? Was it fruity?
It was just like, look, it's the 8th oil. Does anyone ever care about
it's
the
like-
8th
it's
oil?
like
You ordered
summer
it for the other
breeze, isn't it?
7.
Yeah, it's
you ordered
summer
it for the
breeze
other
or something.
7. You got
Yeah.
that. It's there if you need it. It's there if you need it. You don't prioritize it, but you've got it. You own it, and that's important.
That is the important thing.
Yeah, you
You
always
it's
have
just
it.
there.
Yeah, I actually got 2 of those belts, by the way, not 1. I got a second one free with it, which I thought was a really good bargain. I don't think you ever need 2 belts, because like, do you ever need to wash a belt? No, not really. Like, I mean, you'd have to spill a lot on that belt.
Yeah.
To
Or wear
justify
2
it.
pairs of trousers at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Or, how do you put a belt through the wash? Wouldn't it make a lot of rattling if you did that?
Probably. You'd probably want to put it in like a muslin bag or something.
A
just so it
muslin
washes.
bag.
Yeah.
What is a muslin bag?
I don't know. I heard that on a TV show yesterday, and I liked it.
Right.
It looked like
Put your
a thing.
belts.
Well, guys, you can find me at
Put your belts in a muslin
to
bag.
continue, or twitter.com/